All right, so welcome to the second live stream. I am so excited to hand the baton over to the Deputy Director of the Office for Astronomy Outreach, excuse me, I'm hungry, Naomi Asabar-Frimpong. So do you want to join us, Naomi?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for staying with us for the past 4 hours. We will start, Cynthia will start the session for us. So I will hand over to Cynthia and she'll take over this block of events.
Thank you, Naomi. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for being so patient with us today. We've been having such a weird morning and fun and stressful, but we managed to solve things because one of the beautiful great things about astronomy and science is that it teaches you how to solve the problems that you have in front, or how to manage this beautiful teamwork and try to solve it. So just for you know, we were doing the streaming on this program, which is OBS, which today decided just do not connect any of the audio of everything that we have already connected. So we have to switch rapidly to the other streaming resource that we usually have, which is the Zoom. But honestly, I think it's this kind of moments when we celebrate how much of an incredible team we have, because here we are hearing this very beautiful and very amazing stories from all around the world, which is something that is exactly what we wanted to do with this 24-hour live stream and the celebration of 100 hours and Kelly's birthday. Because this is what happens, and this is something that we wanted to see and to share, is this connection that we can have within different groups with different ideas, different languages even. And this is something that we tried within the OBS. What we were supposed to have is the translation of the with English subtitles and with other translation in other languages. So many of the guests that we will have will be speaking other languages, just like Brian just did. He spoke in Spanish, and we were supposed to have the translation, but as you see, we don't have the OBS, and we're not going to be able. So, but even with that, I do celebrate that we will be hearing different languages on this stream, because even though we might not have the specific translation, I think it is still important that we see, that we hear them speaking in their own voices, because it is important to hear different words, to understand that we are different, and within those differences, we can still celebrate astronomy, and we can still learn from each other, and we have to make a little bit of an extra effort to it. So I thank you all. Right now, we will be having a list of very incredible guests. So we will receiving them now. Let me just... We will, right now, we will have Mohad Javad, who will be sharing with us a few things. So go ahead, Mohad. You can turn your, yes. I will stop mine now.
ما اینجا در اکوپارک عباس‌آباد نگین سبز پایتخت ایران حضور داریم. اکوپارکی که بیش از 500 هکتار فضای سبز را در دل تهران جای داده و به عنوان محلی برای آرامش و اوقات فراغت شهروندان شناخته می شود. اکوپارک عباس‌آباد افتخار دارد که عضو سازمان جهانی گردشگری نیز هست. در قلب این مجموعه گنبد مینا به عنوان نظام علمی اکوپارک و تنها پلانتاریوم استاندارد تهران فعالیت می کند. گنبد مینا در 11 سال گذشته تلاش کرده تا شهروندان به ویژه کودکان و نوجوانان را با زیبایی‌های آسمان و دنیای شگفت انگیز نجوم آورد. تنها 30,000 نفر از برنامه و خدمات گنبد مینا بهره مند شدند. ما با نمایش فیلم‌های علمی در آسمان نما
go inside the planetarium to talk with Mr. Ahmad Karimi, the planetarium expert. We are passing the red corridor and Mr. Ahmad Karimi is here. We will talk about the content and special programs of planetarium. آقای کریمی سلام.
سلام به همه دوستان و بینندگان خوب 100 ساعت نجوم. اینجا آسمان نمای گنبد میناست، سالن اصلی که 155 تا صندلی داره و یک دوم 18 متری که شما میتونید زیبایی های آسمان رو ببینید. یه چیز جالبی که وجود داره این که اسکریپت های مختلف آموزشی اینجا پخش میشه. الان اسکریپتی که بالای سرمون هست یک برنامه ستاره شناسی در رابطه با زمین و جایگاهش در فضاست و اینکه ستاره قطبی رو نشون میدیم. ستاره قطبی دقیقاً جایگاهش کجاست، صورت‌های فلکی یکی پس از دیگری نمایش داده میشه و در آخر یک فیلم نجومی در رابطه با سیارات، ستارگان، سیاهچاله‌ها نمایش داده میشه. چیزی در حدود 14-15 تا فیلم مختلف در زمینه‌های مختلف اینجا هست که برای مخاطبین پخشش میکنیم. امیدوارم که همه دوست داشته باشن. این اسکریپت آموزشی پخش میشه و بعد از اون میریم یه فیلم آموزشی جذاب میبینیم. متشکرم.
After Mr. Karimi explanation about the special program of this planetarium and the special content, we can look up at the Earth on the dome. ببینید طرح زمین and ask one of our visitors to share her feelings. Let me go. سلام، نظرتون چیه در رابطه با دیدن تماشای آسمان نما؟
آسمان گنبد مینا یه تجربه خیلی متفاوتی برای من بود، چون که میتونم آسمون و فضا رو توی جایی که شبیه به آسمونه ببینم و این خیلی خوبه. مرسی.
And finally with this shared experience, Mr. Arash Danish, Konak of Iran has a message to the world.
Thank you all. Star shines to our like. May knowledge and peace do the same. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Wishing you all a wonderful 24-hour live program with planetariums in the world.
$4.6 billion years ago, in the disk of matter that surrounded our young star, planets appeared. Explore the landscape of today's solar system. Discover the past of the Earth through testimonies of the formation of planets.
ممنون از همه. خسته نباشید.
Hello, everyone. Well, thank you so much. Thank you from our amazing team from Iran. We're actually very happy to hear, like I said, different languages. This very important for us to know the variation of how our voices are around the world. So thank you joining us from really far away. And by the way, at the beginning of the live transmission, before all the audio problems, we were playing a song, which also was a beautiful song that was composed by our Nox from Iran. And we will be talking about it later, but I just wanted to share that with you because it's incredible songs, and it's something to remember that within our science communicators, there's always not just science. We are people who are full of different ways of understanding and seeing the world. So yes, so we will continue on our next guest, who's not going to be live, but we have an incredible video that they share with us. So okay, now let's go. Thank you.
Places where communities can journey beyond Earth without leaving their seats. In Ethiopia, places where communities can journey beyond Earth without leaving their seats. Hi, I'm in Ethiopia. I'm a volunteer at the Ethiopian Space Science Society. This year's 100 Hours of Astronomy celebrates the 100th year of Planetariums. Planetariums are more than domes. They're gateways to the universe, places where communities can journey beyond Earth without leaving their seats. In Ethiopia, communities planetarium represents both tradition and progress. Hi, I'm in Ethiopia. I'm a volunteer at the Ethiopian Space Science Society. This year's 100 Hours of Astronomy celebrates the 100th year of Planetariums. Planetariums of scientists and dreamers. They're gateways to the universe, places where communities can journey
history of
beyond Earth
planetariums in
without
Ethiopia
leaving their
is
seats.
closely tied to the
And
development
Ethiopian
where communities
our
can journey
planetarium
beyond Earth
represents
from
both
without
tradition and
outreach
progress.
programs of the
Ethiopian
Ethiopian
Space Science Society
Society
volunteered 20 years ago
Science Society.
Establishment this year's 100 hours
First
of
digital
astronomy,
graphical
7
journey
planetariums, hundreds of stations of vision, and first to inspire the next generation of scientists and dreamers. Athletes to be
We're experiencing a little bit of issues again, but we're back.
imaginable. Beyond the inspiring images projected inside, every planetarium dome is a technical marvel. The size, structure, and projection system all work
We're
together to
experiencing
create a window
little
into the
bit of
universe.
issues
Hello,
again,
my name is
but
Brooke Daniel,
we're
a
back.
youth space ambassador at the
Imaginable.
Ethiopian Space Science Society and a volunteer. Today, I experienced one of the great things anyone
Beyond the
could
inspiring
experience,
images projected
being
inside,
part of
every
the
planetarium dome is
greatest
a
journey
technical marvel.
Ethiopia has.
The size,
When I first saw
structure, and
the
projection
stars
system
projected here,
all work
We're
together to
experiencing
create a
little
window into the
bit of
universe.
precious context or the participant degree of specific experts. More in-depth analysis may be possible with additional data such as interview and event specific.
Again, sorry about that. Well, we will continue with one of our guests. We're gonna move the two videos that we had because we're having a little bit of difficulty. We have two videos that were right now, but we were gonna move them till the end of the session. And right now we are gonna have Dr. Susanne Hoffman. She is the president of the Naming a Star Working Group of IAU. So we want to ask Susanne to turn on her screen, her video and her sound.
Hello. I am not allowed to turn on my camera.
Oh, let me give you.
And also the sharing does I need to be co-host.
There you can you give Susanne permission to? You have permission to share now.
Okay. No.
Still no?
Request sent. Now here we go.
Yes? Okay. Great. I'm going to turn my camera up so that we can, we're going to hear a little bit of very important information from Dr. Susanne Hoffman. And then we will have a small Q&A question because what she's presenting us is one of our most important topics within the IAU, the International Astronomical Union, and astronomy in general. So thank you, Dr. Hoffman. We will listen to you and I'll be back.
Thank you very much for this invitation. It's a pleasure for me. And I will just, as an introduction, briefly summarize what the rules are for naming stars, because this is a very frequent question. In the past 100 years of the existence of the IAU had not, until before 2015, had not dealt with naming stars at all. They had named the constellations early in their existence in the 1920s, but not the stars. And that was or turned out to be a big problem when people discovered more and more exoplanets, so planets that are orbiting other stars than the sun. And then there was, of course, a huge public interest also in the exoplanets and their host stars, and also in conferences for astrophysicists when you speak about a star with a planet, and then have to refer to the star with a telephone number of 16 digits. That's not very practical, neither for the audience nor for the speaker. And that is why around 2015, there was an first attempts by the IAU to name stars. First, they wanted to name the stars of exoplanets, the host stars, the faint stars. And then it turned out that we also need rules for the brighter stars. And the formal criteria in the IAU that you see displayed here already are basically, have evolved from astrophysics of the last century. because astrophysics was pioneering in hosting databases, in compiling data of stars in huge databases as early as the 1970s. And for that reason, we have rather old-fashioned rules so that the names must be in Latin script. They have to have not more than 16 characters, and they, of course, within the IAU, within the different sections of astronomy, we don't want to have duplicates. So not an asteroid and a star having the same name, that would be impractical. And then for the star names, or in general in the IAU, there's also the policy that we don't have commercial names and we don't have military names, because the IAU wants to be as apolitical as possible. But for the star names, in contrast to asteroid names, we also decided not to use the names of people, because if you want to honor a teacher or a loved one, a very important person that was important in your personal life, then you can name an asteroid or a lunar crater after this person, but not stars, because simply we have not enough of them. There are roughly 8,000, maybe 9,000 stars visible to the naked eye, and as you know, we have billions of people on Earth, so we cannot use people's names, eponymous names for stars. The stars fainter than the visibility limit of the human eye, 6.5 magnitudes, which is an artificial limit. Fainter than this were dedicated to the naming campaigns, were given to the naming campaigns, the Name ExoWorld campaigns, for which the IAU had 3 calls now, and perhaps we'll have more calls in the future. And for the newly discovered stars that are discovered by an astrophysicist, we recently decided that the discoverer, as for the asteroids, will have the right of the first proposal. That it used to be the case for the very faint companion of Betelgeuse that was discovered only within this year, in the first few months of this year, and then the team who discovered this very faint companion proposed a name. For all other stars brighter than 6.5 magnitudes, of course, many cultures, maybe all cultures, will have names, but they will only have names for the very brightest stars like Vega, Betelgeuse, and so on. And for those, we will have millions, billions of names, but for the fainter stars, like the 4 magnitude stars, we will have only few or no cultural names. And so the WGSN, the Working Group on Star Names, developed a policy how to deal with that. The IAU wants to have diversity in the sky. We have all the constellations named in the ancient Greek and Latin tradition, but we also want to, of course, welcome and appreciate all the other cultures on Earth. So we put a strong focus on all other languages when naming stars. And for that purpose, we developed the Old Skies Encyclopedia as a big container where we collate or collect all the material that we find. Whenever somebody finds a star name in, Japanese, Lokono language or whatever, then they put it in here in the All Skies Encyclopedia, or I mean, they send it to us and we put it in there. And then with that, we will in the future easily see where, for which one of the stars we have multiple names and where we can, put our labels in the sky. We also used the names of constellations, and constellations, there are many more constellations than star names, of course, which is rather convenient because then we can also name the fainter stars. And also, then we will run into problems of cultural habits like what we do with dark constellations. I mean, constellations in the Greek and in the Babylonian culture, and in many cultures all over the world, have been made out of stars, of the bright dots in the vast darkness of the night sky. But some cultures, especially in the southern hemisphere, define their constellations of dark clouds in the Milky Way. And if these constellations are so significant in these cultures of, the Inca, several Aboriginals in Australia, and other cultures. So what do we do then? Do we name faint stars with the names of these dark constellations, or do we ignore the dark constellations and so on? We haven't yet decided that, but I think I'm just telling you that we are running into these problems. In many cases, as I said, we will have a multitude of constellations or star names covering the same area in the sky or covering the same dot in the sky. And then we as a working group try to find a way to acknowledge all of them. For instance, here we have a medieval, say roughly 1,000-year-old drawing, one of the illustrations of the Arabic astronomer As-Sufi from the 10th century. And here you see a drawing of the Greek princess, which was taken over by the Arabic tradition in that time. And an earlier, not Greek, but Arabic constellation of the she-camel, who has, the she-camel has its head at the same stars as the hand of the classical Greek Andromeda. And then we also have a constellation of a horse, probably an Arabic, perhaps inspired by an even earlier Babylonian original, which also has part of it in the same stars. So we have a group of 4 stars here covered by 3 Arabic constellations. And I tell you that something which is not in this picture from the 10th century is a Babylonian constellation of a storm demon whose heel, this star, also is at this group. So what we then did earlier this year in the working group on star names was trying to figure out how we can find a way to name 4 stars with 4 constellations from different traditions. So we have the hand of Andromeda, the head of the she-camel, the head of the horse, and the heel of the Babylonian storm demon represented here in this tiny area in the sky. That was, of course, a longer discussion than I can outline here. I just want to give you a brief glance how difficult that can become. And here we have only a very small section of the Earth, the West Asian traditions, like Greek, Babylonian, Arabic, or Arabian. And if you take into account that probably also, the Chinese, the Japanese, too far north for the Inca probably, but other cultures on our Earth had named the same stars or sets of stars, then you can have an impression how difficult that is. So thank you very much. That is what I wanted to tell you as an introduction. And then I open the floor for Cynthia and her questions.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you. This is very, very interesting for us because as you know, we are the International Astronomical Union, and something that is an activity that happens every single day, that when I started working in this institution, I could not imagine the amount of people that wants to name a star. And it was incredible that we realized that every day we received over 10 or 20 emails from people asking us to give a name of someone they love, of someone they know, of someone they lost. And it is how amazing and how beautiful that we have this kind of connection with the stars. And we are so deeply moved on trying to have the stars close to us, even though they are so far, 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 far away. So one of the most important...
I guess, sorry, Cynthia, I guess that's exactly the relationship that we have. I mean, deceased ones, people we loved and that passed, are as far away for us as the stars. We cannot touch them anymore, and that's exactly the issue here. But as you know, many people, all billions of people on Earth have the same problem or the same issue and have the same feelings on that. And that is why we defined the constellations like that. The WGSN also has a website. This is our website. As I said, we come from the idea of naming exoplanet host stars. So our URL, our domain name is exopla.net, exoplanet. And here we are explaining also some of the backgrounds of the constellations, because this is not something new. That's not, an IAU topic. That's a problem of humankind that was present probably as long as humans lived on Earth. And also the constellations that we inherited from maybe Babylonian, maybe Greek, maybe Egyptian, or all sorts of traditions have this background. Everybody has people, loved ones, like there's some constellations representing the love between a couple, between husband and wife. There are other constellations representing the love of a mother and their children, or parents and their children.
Sorry, Susan. Maybe can you stop sharing your screen now so that we can see a little bit more of your face?
Yeah. Okay. So
There you go.
so as I said, this is a common topic for humankind. And when I get, well, you probably get many more of these questions, but I, as a chair of the working group, also occasionally get requests like that. And I typically reply that, as I said, all people, I mean, all cultures had the same idea and wanted to represent their all sorts of love or of admiration in the sky. We also have some constellations that are representing the admiration of a specific profession, well, what's the general term? Like all sorts of people who move things, like people who drive a chariot, people who drive taxis today, or people who move goods and so on. We need them. That's very important. It's a very important profession for all of humanity. Of course, doctors, nurses, and pharmacists, all people who work in healing professions. We have a constellation for that because this is so common. That's a concern of everybody. We don't need to name a star after a specific person because we have the constellations for that.
Exactly. So one thing that is important to mention, and it's something that Susan has already said, is how different cultures have already done this through thousands of years. And having IAU, this working group of naming the stars, means only the official names as a scientist institution, as a research institution, but not necessarily is going to be a universal thing. Something that we need to remember is that the sky and the stars does not belong to anyone. So, by the way, if anyone wants to sell the idea that they can name a star and if you give them money, that's a lie. No one can accept money because no one can really do that. I mean, we do it as an academic institution, as a scientific institution, in terms of scientific research. And that's why it has to be so official, so specific. But the reality is that the sky belongs to all of us, and many cultures have done it through thousands of years. And it doesn't necessarily mean that what IAU writes it has to be so universal in that sense. It's a universal in the sense of scientific topics that we need to have it like that. But for us, it's so important that we understand the diverse interest of time within constellations and within stars, and how the process of naming a star in the working group, like Suzanne and many other researchers that participate in the working group, is a really long process of knowing the names, trying to understand what fits better, and trying to be respectful of the different cultures that is of the language that is being used, which is something that is so important. Like Susanne also mentioned, IAU does not use names of people anymore, precisely for that, because we know that stars are something bigger that cannot just be named by a single person. So we were wondering if there's some people who has questions in the chat, because this is a great moment to ask Suzanne. If anyone has a question, can put it on the chat, and we will have we will try to answer. But Suzanne already answered the two questions that I had prepared, which was like, can I name a star, and how our stars are named. So you have already done. We are sharing also on the chat the websites that Suzanne has mentioned, so that if you want to learn more about this working group, about the whole big process, go to exopla.net, and you will find there many other resources, the Star Encyclopedia, and all of this that you can try to understand. And everything is open, everything is free, because there's many things that we can learn, and we can even participate in some different ones. So I'm not seeing any other questions. If you have any questions, you can put it on the chat, and we will give these questions later to Dr. Suzanne. But for now, we need to continue because we have the other videos that now we're going to play. So I thank you so much, Suzanne. We hope to have you again as a longer conversation because this is an important topic. But thank you for joining us in the, oh yeah. People, we're asking people, how do you say moon in your own language on the chat? So this is something that we want to know. Also, do we say star? How do we say moon? But yes, thank you, Suzanne, and we will continue with our next video.
Thank you, bye.
Okay, now I'm gonna play a video from Amenti Daniel from Ethiopia, which we had a little bit of trouble earlier, but now it's going to be perfect, I hope. Let me know. Okay.
Hi, I'm Helena Kunsat. I'm a volunteer at the Ethiopian Space Science Society. This year's 100 Hours of Astronomy celebrates the 100th year of planetariums. Planetariums are more than domes. They're gateways to the universe, places where communities can journey beyond Earth without leaving their seats. In Ethiopia, our planetarium represents both tradition and progress, connecting culture, science, and imagination. Across Africa, planetariums are emerging as powerful tools to inspire the next generation of scientists and dreamers. The history of planetariums in Ethiopia is closely tied to the development of astronomy in our country. From the early outreach programs of the Ethiopian Space Science Society more than 20 years ago to the establishment of the first digital dome, the journey has been marked by determination and vision. Across Africa, countries such as South Africa and Egypt introduced planetariums earlier, making them centers of science education. This is the Dome Theater, the premier planetarium facility located within the Addis Ababa Science Museum. The structure is characterized by its expansive 24-meter diameter screen designed for maximum visual coverage. To optimize the audience experience, the dome features a 25-degree inclination. The projected display relies on a modern singular fisheye digital projection system with 4K resolution, ensuring high-resolution seamless imagery across the entire celestial sphere. Functioning as a key educational and public outreach instrument, this planetarium accommodates over 200 visitors. It serves as a vital platform for the study and public appreciation of astronomy and space science. Ethiopia's planetarium builds on this tradition, creating a local hub where students and the public can explore the cosmos in ways that were once unimaginable. Beyond the inspiring images projected inside, every planetarium dome is a technical marvel. The size, structure, and projection system all work together to create a window into the universe.
Hello, my name is Brooke Daniel, a youth space ambassador at the Ethiopian Space Science Society and a volunteer. Today, I experienced one of the great things anyone could ever experience, being part of the greatest journey Ethiopia has. When I first saw the stars projected here, it was like connecting to the universe itself. Even though the skies are limitless, this planetarium posed a possibility. I was connected to the mere stars. They were so far, but so close at the same time. The abstract ideas we've learned in school from textbooks, galaxies, black holes, they were all in one single place, interconnected, being projected up, and that really felt like a special connection to me.
As Ethiopia's planetarium grows, so does our vision. We want to bring this experience beyond the capital, reaching underserved regions where curiosity is waiting to be sparked. By combining culture, science, and technology, we aim to build a stronger foundation for space education in Africa. Planetariums remind us that we all share the same sky. They inspire us to explore galaxies beyond our own and to dream of a future shaped by discovery. This is only the beginning of Ethiopia's journey through the stars.
Estamos ante una réplica del vestigio más antiguo conocido de una computadora analógica. El Dr. Julio Saucedo, profesor investigador del área de astronomía de la Universidad de Sonora, nos cuenta sobre esto.
Estoy enfrente del mecanismo de antiquítera monumental de Hermosillo, conocido como MAM. Es una réplica del mecanismo de antiquítera que también se conoce como anticítera, mecanismo de antiquítera, que viene siendo, pues, es el vestigio, tal vez el más importante vestigio científico-tecnológico de la historia. Se encontró al fondo del mar en el año de 1901 una roca que no se le encontraba forma, pero que con el tiempo, a través de 120 años de investigación, ya se sabe mucho de lo que hacía. Y precisamente lo que vemos aquí, que se encuentra en la Universidad de Sonora, tenemos una representación donde vemos realmente aquello que era pequeño, digamos, el tamaño de una caja de zapatos, lo vemos en tamaño gigantesco, donde podemos ver en particular lo que vemos aquí enfrente es la posición de los cuerpos celestes principales del sistema solar, es decir, el Sol, la Luna, los planetas, los 5 planetas visibles de la antigüedad, y en el centro la Tierra. Y aquí podemos ver en tiempo real dónde se encuentran. La Luna, por ejemplo, que se está acercando ahorita a luna llena, por eso la vemos blanca. Cuando se encuentra del lado del Sol, la vemos oscura, es decir, aquí la vemos oscura porque en realidad no la vemos, ¿verdad? Que sería el caso de la Luna nueva. Y tenemos las posiciones relativas que tienen en el cielo cada uno de estos cuerpos celestes, los planetas. Nos dice en qué lugar del cielo, es decir, representado en las constelaciones, las 12 constelaciones del zodiaco, que se encuentran en el anillo interno, y en el anillo más exterior vemos lo que conocemos como el año egipcio de 365 días. Y que, por cierto, esta manecilla nos indica la fecha en la que se encuentra durante ese año de 365 días. Lo que vemos en la parte trasera de este mecanismo, en donde vemos la predicción de eclipses, tanto lunares como solares, en una espiral de Arquímedes, nos va diciendo dónde están ocurriendo los eclipses. Y en otra espiral, es la espiral metónica, digamos, que lleva el nombre de Metón, un astrónomo griego del siglo V antes de Cristo. Y lo que vemos entonces es que ahí cada 19 años se repite la misma fase, lo cual realmente permite ir de los meses lunares a los años, ¿verdad? Que son realmente los importantes para conocer, digamos, pues el comportamiento de las aves, de todo tipo de animales, de cuándo cultivar y todo eso, que es ese ciclo metónico, esto que es un calendario lunisolar. Entonces, todas estas maravillas y muchas más, como por ejemplo saber cuándo inician los Juegos Olímpicos, se encuentra en este mecanismo de Antiquítera monumental de Hermosillo, que es una réplica lo más fiel posible de este original que fue encontrado en 1901 y que se sabe que fue construido en el siglo II antes de Cristo, es decir, hace más de 2200 años. Y todo esto en conjunto nos dice que estamos ante algo que nos permite asegurar que tenemos una computadora analógica, que es muy probablemente la primera computadora analógica de la historia. Se encuentra en la Universidad de Sonora, en el edificio 3H, y es una invitación abierta para que nos visiten, ya sea en persona o con familia o con grupos escolares. Particularmente lo que nos gusta mucho, recibir grupos escolares de todos los niveles.
Espero te haya gustado este video y agradecemos al Dr. Saucedo por su tiempo. Buena suerte y cielos despejados.
We're gonna play the last video of this session. Camera on, yes. We're gonna play the last video next. What we saw today was was Dr. Julio Saucedo from Universidad de Sonora in Mexico. He was sharing with us one of the most interesting pieces that we have in Mexico. It's a very antique clock. It's a replica of this thousands of year clock. So you can go and look a little bit more of this amazing astronomical piece that they have in the university. If you go to the Universidad de Sonora website, you will find more. So we will play the last video of this session. It's a PowerPoint presentation. You might think we're making a mistake again, but no, this is how it looks. This is now it's going to be complete. The Mulugeta Marcos from Ethiopia. So
conclusion, the visual evidence clearly shows that the effort to engage the community with solar eclipse was effective, which is in line with the objective of 100 Hours of Astronomy. The picture shows sense of community, active engagement, and the addition of an educational component. Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation. My name is Mulugeta Marcos. I'm lecturer in the Danville University, opening eyes to the universe, 100 Hours of Astronomy. Introduction. Solar eclipses are exceptional, beautiful celestial occurrences that present a special chance for community involvement, scientific research, and education. However, to ensure safety and observing these events call for a specific tool and experts. Programs for public education and outreach are essential to secure and productive observation. In order to comprehend the educational and social aspects of the experience, this study uses visual evidence, photograph to evaluate community involvement in solar eclipse viewing event methodology. The study employed a qualitative technique and photo analysis. The supplied images were analyzed to identify key elements and participant behaviors. Visual cues such as the use of eclipse glass, interaction with the speaker, and the event setting or a school were used to draw conclusions about the event impact and the goal. Finding and discussion. Active participant engagement. The picture clearly shows significant degree of participation from a wide range of people. The main visual component, the extensive use of eclipse glass, indicate a common experience focused on viewing solar spectacle safety. So the image showing the large group of people viewing the sun outside the classroom. Educational components. An instructional element is indicated by the speaker appearance in what look to be a classroom with a chart. Context and implication. The event may be school activity, community outreach program, or amateur astronomy club gathering. The graduation class of 2025 on a t-shirt could indicate the gathering or meeting took place in 2025 purpose in anticipation of future astronomical event. So this is part of such events of reflecting the aim of 100 Hours of Astronomy, promote awareness and responsible practice for safe observation of celestial events and enhance public literacy. Observational or extensive the scope of learning. The image of people holding and using telescope indicate interest in the sky beyond the immediate eclipse. Limitation. The study exclusive reliance on visual data restrict its capacity to examine complex events, also understanding of the experience is hampered by missing details such as event precious context or the participant degree of specific expertise. More in-depth analysis may be possible with additional data such as interview and event specification. Conclusion. The visual evidence clearly shows that the effort to engage the community with solar eclipse was effective, which is in line with the objective of 100 Hours of Astronomy. The picture shows sense of community active engagement and the addition of an educational component. This emphasizes how important it is to teach astronomy and educate the public in order to stimulate curiosity, promote scientific literacy, and help people feel more connected to the cosmos. This kind of project also help to increase the influence of international initiatives like 100 Hours of Astronomy. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are happy you're staying with us for all this while, and thank you for your patience with us, because we've gone through some hills and valleys all through since we started, and thank you for staying with us. So on the chats, you realize that we have so many questions we're asking you. We're asking from where you're coming from. We're asking you to tell us what the moon is called in your language. We are asking you to give us some feedback. So please engage with us in the chats. It helps us to know how well we are doing and how impactful this whole session event is. So please engage with us. I want to hear from you also. We actually put a question in the previous chats that you should tell us your astronomy jokes, and we have a really good one. So we'll put the link back in the chats, and please tell us your very PG, very funny astronomy joke, and we'll read it as the time goes on. So look out for your astronomy joke. Now for this session, the next, after I finish speaking, is a message from the International Planetarium Society, because you know this event is in collaboration with them to celebrate the 100 years of planetarium. So please stay with us while we go through that. And after that, we'll have, after the planetarium message, we'll have a fun session with the president of IPS and some other events. So please stay tuned and don't go anywhere, and engage with us in the chats.
Planetarium Cusco, en Perú, queremos mandarle un cordial saludo a todos nuestros hermanos planetarios alrededor del mundo. Felicidades en este centenario y que vengan muchísimos más.
Ahoj, chci vám popřát všechno nejlepší ke svým narozeninám. Za Studio Krutart vás zdravím z České republiky.
Anyị bụ ndị nọ na Center for Basic Space Science nke dị na Nsụka ji obi aṅụrị na-ekele International Planetarium Society maka otu narị afọ ọ gbara. Anyị na-asị ya daalụ.
Greetings from Mama. Grüezi miteinander. Wir wünschen euch alles Gute zum Centennial von der Planetarien aus Luzern, aus der schönen Schweiz.
Üdvözlet Magyarországról! Boldog születésnapot a planetáriumoknak!
Feliz años planetarios!
Hello everybody, I am Walter and I'm here at the Planetarium of Rigi Astronomical Observatory in Genoa. Happy birthday Planetaria! Happy birthday to all of you!
Herzliche Grüße zum 100-Jährigen aus Halle an der Saale.
Dem Herzen von Mitteldeutschland.
Hi, this is Alan Hanstein, the director of the Challenger Learning Center of Tallahassee, the K-12 STEM outreach program of the FAMU FSU College of Engineering, and the home of the Fogg Planetarium. Happy Centennial.
Hello, I'm Martin George from Tasmania, Australia, greeting you all on this wonderful day of celebration for planetariums around the world.
Happy birthday from Fairbanks, Alaska!
Watch for our new planetarium coming in spring 2026 to the University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Hola, acá desde el Planetario de la Universidad de Santiago de Chile les enviamos un afectuoso saludo en el centenario de los planetarios del mundo.
הפלנטניה, מרכז מדע, חלל ותרבות בעיר נתניה, מברך את כולם בארץ ובעולם לרגל חגיגות 100 שנה להמצאת הפלנטריום.
Happy Centennial from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, USA!
Hallo aus Hamburg. Herzlichste Special Audio Gratulationen für 100 Jahre Planetarien, 100 Jahre Entertainment und tolle Starshows. Ich bin Tom Ammermann, Geschäftsführer der New Audio Technology.
Greetings and congratulations from the Wickware Planetarium at Eastern Connecticut State University.
Desde el Planetario de Rosario les deseamos un
¡Feliz Centenario!
Greetings from the Western Connecticut State University Planetarium in Danbury, Connecticut.
Saludos para todos desde el Planetario Galileo Galilei de la ciudad de Buenos Aires.
Tervetuloa Planetaarioon. Hyvää syntymäpäivää, planetaariot!
Greetings and happy 100 years from the Delta College Planetarium in Bay City, Michigan. We planetarians are the curiosity generators of the world.
Hello, my name is Xavier Barcons. I'm Director General of ISO, the European Southern Observatory. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate all of you for the 100th anniversary of the introduction of the planetarium. Planetariums have become, during this last century, very essential vehicles to make outreach in astronomy, to communicate the wonders of the universe, but also as educational tools for the younger generations. Today we're celebrating not only the introduction of this new technology, but we're also celebrating all of you, the people who build and operate those planetariums with passion and the wish of sharing the wonders of the universe with the entire society. It is very important these days, where scientific values are often challenged by society to keep educating our kids, to keep educating our society on those scientific values. And for this, planetariums are really very essential tools. From our Supernova Planetarium and Visitor Center, ESO will continue supporting society and providing access to open dome products so we can keep enjoying the wonders of the universe together with all of you. Happy birthday to planetariums and happy birthday to all of you. Keep enjoying this marvelous adventure. Thank you.
Dear IPS, planetarians, friends of space and planetariums all around the world. I'm Rosemary Coogan and I'm an astronaut for ESA, the European Space Agency. I'm excited to convey on behalf of ESA our heartfelt congratulations to the centennial of the planetarium and your century of invaluable and irreplaceable activities. ESA and planetariums around the world share important goals, and this is bringing space to people on Earth for the benefit of everyone, kindling awe, joy and curiosity, educating, bringing perspective and scientific literacy, and inspiring the next generation of explorers and big picture thinkers. Now, science communication is an art and a challenge, and the Planetarium Dome has made it possible to bring space to humans and humans to space. But my colleagues and I know that the domes would be nothing without your community of many thousands of planetarians, your incredible skill, your passion and dedication. And it's humbling to see how many of you are volunteers, giving your time and energy to a great cause. At the same time the planetarium turns 100, ESA turns 50. And the role of space has been evolving rapidly around the world. But I believe that looking to the sky, especially in the planetarium as well, it's as important as ever to get inspired, to unite and explore in peaceful international cooperation. And it's equally important that in the planetarium domes, people see Earth from space and realize that we share and must together care for this precious planet. Thank you for all of the work you've been doing for 100 years, for the inspiring projects we've done together. And here's to the next great 100 years of the planetarium, and we're looking forward to going to space, the solar system, and the distant universe together.
It's a great occasion to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the first planetariums. So they have been serving as ways for the public to understand what scientists do and for new scientists to become excited about science. Seeing the motion of the planets, seeing the motion of the stars, telling the story of the history of the universe, in so many ways bringing people into science. Planetariums are a wonderful science communication opportunity, and congratulations on the new possibilities that we have today.
Hi everyone, here's Glenn from Skyscan. Like many of you, we've been celebrating 100 years of planetariums since the festivities began early last year and will continue until May of the coming year. Of course, in those times, Skyscan has played quite a significant role out of 57 of those 100 years. And for me personally, I'll be 40 years in this industry next year. We're still passionate about our craft and we're always working up new ways to explore our immersive playgrounds. How marvelous it must have been to be part of that first demonstration and see the first light from the planetarium projector in Jena in 1923. How did they bring the stars indoors? And then one innovation after another, adding planets, increasing the amount of stars, adding movements of the celestial bodies. And then as we move forward in time, adding slides and video and eventually full dome digital. And now we have LED domes. And look at the MSG sphere. Holy cow. Of course, maybe that's not a planetarium, or on the other hand, maybe it is and they just don't know it yet. A dear friend of mine has also been moved by the cosmos since he was a child. The weekly Sky at Night television show, together with visits to the former London Planetarium, inspired him to eventually study astronomy, and he earned a doctorate in astrophysics after a brief interruption trying to earn a living as a musician. Ladies and gentlemen, a man who needs no real introduction, everyone's favorite rock star, astrophysicist, British knight, and Isaac Newton lookalike, Sir Brian May.
Hello, folks. This is Brian May. Thank you, Glenn, for that glowing introduction. Glenn and I go back a long way. We worked on a show together in Munich, Queen Music and the Stars. Marcus Deblay is about to rebirth that show in digital, so look forward to that. But I'm here to say congratulations on 100 years of Planetaria. How amazing and how incredibly relevant now the planetarium is, even more so because so many of us never get to see a proper dark sky. Planetarium has been a wonderful outreach tool for astronomy for so long, and now better than ever, I would say. The quality is better than ever, of course. The quality of the input is better than ever. And I, for one, am still very excited, and I feel that there should be a planetarium in every city. Yes, Glenn mentioned the sphere. How interesting is that? Digital LED planetaria. The sky's the limit, I guess, right? So have a great time, have a great celebration, and let's just keep on with the vision that we have of Planetaria, because the planetarium in this modern world rocks. Take care. God bless.
Hi, I'm Jim Bell from Arizona State University and past president of the Planetary Society. Just saying congratulations, 100 years of planetariums. That is absolutely awesome. I'm a big fan of planetariums, and I'm a big fan of seeing Mars and the moon and other places in the solar system spread out across 360 degrees for everybody to enjoy. So congratulations.
Welcome to the celebration of the centennial of the planetarium. My name is Jaydeep Taggart Singh, an associate professor at Michigan State University. On behalf of the Facility for Rare Isotope Beams, I'm delighted to congratulate our neighbor and partner, Abrams Planetarium, as well as planetariums all over the world, for captivating audiences about our pale blue dot and the cosmos that surrounds it for over a century. Planetariums have grown in sophistication from projecting the stars in the night sky onto a dome to full-length films explaining the wonders of the universe. Through our partnership with Abrams Planetarium, we've been able to share this excitement of contemporary world-class nuclear science research conducted right here in the heart of the Michigan State University campus, conducted by over 1,800 scientists from more than 50 countries around the world. We are excited to celebrate the first centennial of planetariums and are looking forward to the next one.
It is wonderful to be celebrating the 100th anniversary of the opening of the first planetarium. In fact, my father first took me to a planetarium in Chicago in 1951, so that was the 26th anniversary, and it was fabulous. I remember it so vividly, as if just a marvelous experience. It influenced me enormously, so I really do appreciate planetarium for young people and for everybody.
Hi, my name is Kelly Blumenthal. I'm the director of the IAU's Office for Astronomy Outreach, and I would like to extend my warmest congratulations on the celebration of the 100 years of the planetarium that's happening right now, hosted by the International Planetarium Society. Now, we all know that planetariums are a really important part of getting people interested in astronomy and getting people interested in science in general. And for that reason, we've teamed up with the International Planetarium Society to celebrate 100 years of the planetarium for 100 hours during our 100 Hours of Astronomy event that's happening in October. So we hope you'll all be a part of this collaboration that's happening in October of this year. And you should stay tuned for more information from the International Planetarium Society and the IAU's Office for Astronomy Outreach on our websites and on social media. So we hope to see you there.
I hope you couldn't stop smiling just like I was. It was an amazing session, amazing video about planetariums and how they celebrated their 100 years. And you saw all the messages from everyone. So yeah, congratulations to the IPS and all planetariums around the world. I'm joined by the director of IAU Office for Astronomy Outreach, Kelly Blumenthal, and we are going to have a very fun discussion. So I'll hand over to her for her to start.
Well, we are going to have a fun discussion, and for many reasons, but the primary reason we'll find out later. But I wanted to start this segment because we're talking about astronomy and astronomy engagement, but we're not spending a whole lot of time talking about like research astronomy, which is where both of us kind of started on this journey. But Naomi, you in particular have had a really interesting path to get yourself to where you are today. Do you want to just talk a little bit about like the work you've done and where you came from and all of the really interesting types of things you've studied? You were mentioning this the other day, and you kept on like listing all of these different things. It's really fascinating. So please, share just a little bit, tell the world.
I have a very whirlwind journey to astronomy. As I was studying the other day, because as a child, I wanted to be a medical doctor, but I loved chemicals. I liked chemistry, I think, even from birth. I mixed up medicine from my medicine cabinets and did strange things. So I loved science. And so I did science in my high school and then was able to go and do like a BSc in chemistry in the University of Cape Coast. And for my undergraduate thesis, I was actually studying phytochemistry, which is plant chemistry. And I was using phytochemistry to understand the antimicrobial properties of plants, of leaves, of a very fascinating leaf that was used mainly by indigenous people to help them with pain, but we found that it had like some antimicrobial properties. So I was studying that. That was really cool. And I had all these petri dishes with bacteria that I was like inoculating with like extracts from the leaves. So it was really cool. And then for my master's, I went to do nuclear and radiochemistry at the Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. So another form of chemistry. So studying about isotopes, studying about all the emissions, alpha, beta, gamma. And for my thesis, I did a thesis in hydrochemistry and isotope hydrology. So trying to understand how water evolves and how old water is and the cycle of water in the delta, which we call Densu Delta in my country. So trying to understand how the seawater was affecting the well water, it was affecting rainwater and all the wonderful cycles out and how the isotope fascination was changing. So I've done phytochemistry, I've done hydrochemistry and isotope hydrology and nuclear chemistry because I was actually using nuclear chemistry to study the water. And so I was drafted into the space agency. Well, when I finished my master's, it was just starting. And I fell in love with astronomy because I met all these engineers in astronomy. They talk about how, you can look into space with this telescope. We had a 32-meter radio telescope in Ghana was being converted from a satellite communication dish into a radio telescope. So we had some time. And so we had a collaboration with India and IOCA in India. And so about 32 African young scientists had a privilege to go to IOCA to study astronomy intensively because Africa was coming to SK and we needed to build our human capacity. So I was part of the cohort. And at IOCA, I found there was astrochemistry. And so there were people who actually studied astronomy using chemistry. And I was like, my eyes were opened. I was blind, but now I could see. There was all about like everything about astronomy that I loved. And that was my first love, chemistry. And they had such a beautiful marriage and I just couldn't tear myself away from it. So when I got a chance to do my PhD in astronomy, I chose to do it in astrochemistry, which are actually called molecular astrophysics, using complex molecules, which are like methanol, ethyl cyanide, to study massive stars. And not just massive stars, but young massive stars, stars that are just being born, which are still in the womb of the dark cloud and are evolving into stars. So it's a wonderful journey. I love telling my story because I came from mixing chemicals in my dad's backyard to study in astronomy. So that's my story.
I feel like we should have a disclaimer that says, don't mix chemicals in your dad's backyard?
Don't
That sounds
do
like
that.
a bad plan. But it's so fascinating. All the, and you can study so many different things and still wind up as an astronomer. And all of those things give you really valuable, expertise and experience to get you to where you are right now. And that's so interesting. I feel like a lot of young people that I've spoken to are saying, I really want to be an astronomer. What physics classes should I take? What math classes should I take? What, astronomy classes should I take? And sure, that's important, but like you get a lot of this education from doing other things. And that's really valuable, getting all of these different perspectives. I think I've maybe said that like 4 or 5 times in the last however many hours, but it's really true. There's so much to learn from other fields that, bringing all of that stuff together really helps you really understand things in a different light.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on one of the things that you were talking about, which is the delivery of water and the origin of water. And I think that's a really interesting topic, particularly right now, as we are visited by our dear friend 3i Atlas, which is the latest and greatest, or maybe not greatest, it's the latest. Let's not get too superlative here. But the latest interstellar visitor to our solar system. Very exciting. So what do you, what is this object? Should we be worried about it? Are there aliens? Is it a spaceship?
In the universe, is always evolving, and the universe has so many things, and comets or these kind of visitors are objects that help us to study what else is outside of our solar system. And so having this comet and being able to study it and all the biosignatures that were found on it is a wonderful way for us to know that there are other things out there in space. It might be aliens, it might not be, but we get a peek into things outside our solar system because it's so far away. That's what makes astronomy so fascinating. Like we are studying something that is just too far away for us to go there and pick samples. But if they come to us, of course, we need to study them because it gives us a glimpse into what else is happening in our universe, because the space in the objects that we see, when you look up in the night sky, you see almost everything is black. But even though it's black or it's dark, there are things still in between the interstellar medium. There are clouds, there are dust, there are particles, there are comets that carry signatures of carbon, of iron, of silicon, and other molecules that lead to, could be possibly precursors to bio signatures or biological objects, or even they are precursors to proteins or carbohydrates. So, and these proteins and carbohydrates are what make us human and what make us animals. So it's really fascinating when the universe brings us, a clue. And so we shouldn't be afraid of whether it's alien, but it's a clue for us to know what else is out there in space, I think.
Absolutely. It's like a big puzzle. And I love puzzles. I know, I completely agree with you. And it is interesting because we cannot say that aliens do not exist because we just don't know. And if you think about in the grand scheme of things, to think that our planet is so special that in all of the billions upon billions upon billions and billions of stars and planets that there are in the universe, that we could possibly be the only one that has life, that's just that's ridiculous.
It's like I can't. Well, so there are billions of galaxies. Okay, and in these billions of galaxies are billions of stars, and these billions of stars have multiple planets. Our star has 8 planets and maybe counting. We'll get to that later, so stay tuned. Okay, 8 planets and possibly counting. We know who else knows what's in the Earth cloud. Okay, so to think that of all the billions and trillions of objects in space, we are the only ones that, have a signature of life. It's really stretching it. So I think there's a possibility there's some other form of life. It may not be like us. It may not work on two legs and have two arms. It may be something else, but it's just fascinating to imagine that and to think and to search, maybe, if you're not too scared. So, yeah.
Don't be scared. Well, I do have someone here who is a little scared. Let's see if I can coax her to get on camera. Excuse me just a second. Let me fix your hair. It's okay. Check. Come on. So this okay. Yeah, way below. This is Kelly Chan. Kelly Chan is
Hi,
very
Kelly
interested
Chan.
in astronomy. Very interested in astronomy, but she's a little worried about the alien thing. And so can you talk a little bit about, even if there are aliens, or maybe it's because science fiction actually does a lot, right? Yeah, science fiction does a lot to tell us more about, like, how societies can work and exploring different things in society, but even also like philosophically and from a scientific standpoint as well. Let's just do that. So she's just going to stay right here and surreptitiously block my mouth. So the thing that she would like to know is, are aliens a really, I don't want to speak for you, are aliens a really big problem that we should worry about? Or, like, is there I don't know, what's the probability that I'm going to get visited by an alien?
Okay. Hi, Kelly Chan. So aliens, I would say you should be afraid of them because there's such a huge distance between where our solar system is and where everything else is. And we don't even know if there is something close to us in our Milky Way. So if there's an alien somewhere, maybe not in our Milky Way, maybe outside of our Milky Way, in some other galaxy, it's going to take a long time for them to come here. But scientists are actively looking for signatures of life or intelligence life. So you have to just enjoy your life and only know that what scientists are doing is trying to push the frontier of science. And as we push the frontier of science, we get new innovations and technologies that help us to live on life better, help us to develop in a way to make our life sustainable and positive for all of us. So have a good feeling about it, I think.
Can I ask a question? So
Yes.
you're over here. Okay. So you said something about biosignatures. So when the big Kelly signs her name, she makes like a signature. Is that what you mean by biosignatures?
No, like what I mean is things that have show signs of it, being part of life. So like finding a protein string or finding a carbohydrate string is a biosignature. So it doesn't have to be a whole living human being or a whole living bacteria, but any chemical chain or compound that has some similarities to what we have on Earth can be termed like a biosignature.
I like carbohydrates.
Yeah, I like
some of my
carbohydrates
favorite
too.
foods are carbohydrates.
Yeah. Can you name some of your favorite foods?
Pasta and French fries
Pasta
and
French
grilled
fries.
cheese.
I like those too.
Well, so there was something else in there, right? We heard the other day that there was something about it was a biosignature. A biosignature on Mars.
Yes.
Should we be worried about Mars?
Well,
Should I be worried about Mars?
So currently, what we found is that there's possibly there was life on Mars like a long time ago, but currently no. And we are still searching. So I don't think you should be afraid of Mars. You should be excited because the more we can go to Mars and take our rovers to Mars and know about Mars, helps us to know what we could do to prevent us from ending up like Mars, like things with overheating, like global warming or depleting our resources on Earth and making sure that we are taking sustainable steps to protect our Earth so that we don't end up with all life destroyed like Mars is. So I think scientists and everyone should be excited about what is happening on Mars and what we are finding out in Mars. So yeah, don't be scared. I think you should be excited about what
Okay.
science is bringing us now. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to reframe. I
Okay.
make no promises, but I'm gonna try to reframe. Okay, does this make you feel so? Dr. Naomi, you did a really great job of making Kelly-chan feel so much more safe. She's gonna go
I'm
take a
happy.
nap now because she's a little tired, but bye.
Bye, Kelly-chan.
I'll come back.
Bye. See you again soon.
I have
It
a
was
second
exciting to
career
meet
coming
you.
up, just so you know. Kermit the
But
Frog is
before
gonna
we
call me soon.
yeah, before Kelly-chan came, I wanted to say something that what I found out is that astronomy is one of the sciences that can welcome almost every type of science. Like there are like varied sciences which are associated with astronomy in different ways. There's astrobiology, astrogeology, astrochemistry, astrophysics. There's electrical engineers find jobs, electronics, like there's so much you can do from any area of science you're studying. And not even just science, but any field you're studying, you can find a foot in astronomy. So keep an eye out for any astronomy, short course that's going on. Visit a planetarium. Go to your science museum or science center in your community and know more about astronomy. You might be surprised that you can find something you really love to do in astronomy.
Absolutely. It's something that we talk about a lot in education, that
Yeah.
astronomy is kind of like a gateway to
Mm.
to other sciences, because there is so much intersection between astronomy and chemistry and engineering and physics and math and all of these different things.
Yeah.
And it's it just kind of like clicks for a lot of people much more easily than other sciences do. And I think it makes it a lot easier for people to see themselves as scientists.
Yes.
If they encounter something first that makes them feel more comfortable thinking about these things and considering their perspectives and considering themselves within the framework of the universe and how it all works and how we don't really understand any of it. There's so much opportunity, I think, for exploration, and for me anyway, that's one of the things that really drives me toward it.
Yeah, I think I remember Dr. Kosso from South Africa once told me, he's a biologist and he's like a pioneer in like bringing salt to South Africa and like getting salt. And I remember talking to him, he was like, I get so mad at astronomers because you don't know that astronomy is such a beautiful science. It's a romantic science that brings people into STEM. Like it just calls people. When people hear about astronomy, when they visit a planetarium, when they visit an observatory, they are just wowed. And it's a gateway to bring people into STEM. So we don't see, sometimes as astronomers, we think we are always studying astronomy and it's nice. But when non-astronomers hear or see or feel what we do, when you're doing outreach or public engagement and you can see an adult coloring the moon with such like zeal as if they're a little kid again. It's just how astronomy is such a signpost for people to find their way back to, their childhood and their first love. Because we all as children have always looked up in the night sky, I said, and wanted to count the stars or do something like that or go to the moon. And astronomy is that kind of science that brings people and gets them excited about life again. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
No?
We're here. Hi, Inoue-san, come say hello.
Yeah.
Inoue-san is here. He also has a puppet. Will you bring your puppet on soon?
Yeah, okay. Wait a moment.
Yes, there's multiple puppets during this session. Wonderful, wonderful. But you're absolutely right, Naomi. And I think actually, I think these puppets actually demonstrate that pretty well. I am a grown woman who made a puppet in her spare time. And it was fun. And now I have this opportunity to, but bringing humor into it also is a really big thing that I think, we kind of colloquially know, but it's so difficult to translate humor between between cultures, except this. This is very funny. Hello. Nice to see you again. You will see him later for sure. This is Dr. Blackstar.
Yeah.
Dr. Blackstar is the mascot of the Akasha Planetarium. Mascot? The super villain? Maybe both.
Maybe both, yes.
One no word. Yeah.
Yes. Amazing. It's been such a joy to be here. And to work with Inui-san and everybody else at the Akasha Planetarium. And, just a huge thank you to everybody who's helped make this a reality. It kind of seemed like a far-flung idea, but here we are. Well, I shouldn't say we're not that far into it, maybe only 6 hours, but we'll get there. We'll get there. And I will be just as grateful then, and maybe more grateful then than I am now. But back to the science. So, Dr. Naomi, you found your way all the way from plant chemistry? I'm not a chemist, I don't know. To astrochemistry, and now you do public engagement. So where was the transition? Like, was there a moment where you thought like, yes, this is precisely what I want to be doing? Or was it more like a smooth transition?
I think it was more like a smooth transition because I started my astronomy journey in Ghana, and Africa as a whole and Ghana in particular was just starting to, not all of Africa. There are some countries that had astronomy for a long time, but countries like my country were just getting their foot into astronomy. And so we had to do a lot of public engagement. And we started with children because it's always easier to talk to children about astronomy. And so even though I didn't have a lot of astronomy knowledge, I tagged along with the astronomers who came. We visited schools and we talked to them, and I could always see the excitement. If you have like a small telescope and you could show the moon to a small child, and they were like, wow, because they could see all the craters on the moon, and it was so amazing to see how much they enjoyed that experience, and even to tell them about the solar system, because they learn them in schools, but it's not always as in-depth. It doesn't have all the fun, facts that an astronomer can share with you as a teacher might, because a teacher probably doesn't have time to go all in and teach all about the solar system. And so that experience was there. And then when I was doing my PhD, I got more involved in science communication because the University of Manchester had a very active science communication program going on. There was the Jotcast, which was like operated by the PhD students, which was a podcast for discussing astronomy news and communicating astronomy in a layman's term to people. And I was heavily involved in that. So when I came back to Ghana, I realized that we still had a lot of work to do in public engagement. And so I took out the task to head the Science Communication and Outreach committee. And so I got heavily involved. And it brought me such joy. I think that was what got me. It brought me such joy because whenever we had tours at the observatory and the school children come, and you were able to show a video of how different the sizes are, comparing the Earth to the Sun, comparing the Earth to Jupiter, and the distances, and getting them to color their own astronomy crowns and to ask questions and to even demonstrate how far the planets are from each other or from the sun. And they had to walk all the way from inside the planetarium to all the way to the gate just to show how far the moon is from the sun and how far it was such a joy to see their excited faces and to see them absorbing the knowledge. And some of them surprisingly were totally, they had learned on their own. They had their fathers download videos and they knew all our videos and they could ask very intelligent questions. Of course, they asked very interesting questions, questions that made you think. They had all these myths and some of them were fairy tales and some of them were their own thinkings. They have all these ideologies and it was nice to debunk them, to talk to them, to explain to them. There are moments that they had was just so fulfilling. And so I think that's natural transition from the need and then to the excitement of it and the fulfillment I felt was a journey that brought me to the OAO. And I'm so happy to be here to keep not just doing science communication by myself, but to enable others to have the experience of sharing astronomy to their communities and getting the same fulfillment that I felt. So yeah, that'll be my answer.
Something that you mentioned kind of in the middle of that I think is just really relevant to everything that you're saying is that teachers really don't have the time or the resources or even the training to teach anything related to astronomy other than maybe the seasons. And that really highlights the importance of the work that the Office of Astronomy for Education is doing. In making all of these educational resources and the teacher training that they do and all of the work that they do with translating words and concepts into various languages. It is so that is deeply important, but I think people often get kind of confused or just kind of uncertain between what is education and what is outreach or public engagement, as I desperately prefer to refer it as. So in your head, where's the line between these things? Where maybe it's not a line, maybe it's more like a Venn diagram.
Yes.
But yeah. So what is the distinction in your mind, and how do these kind of play together? Do you think?
So it's not really two distinct things. I think it's more like a Venn diagram and a heavily bleeded together Venn diagram where you can actually see the ends, because we all want the same thing. We want astronomy to be accessible to people, but education is looking at how we can make it more formally. People can learn the correct things. People can learn the right things and know the facts from the myths. And outreach and science communication is trying to bring the awe of astronomy to people, to get them to think about astronomy in a more inclusive way, to get them to think about astronomy in a way that shows that it's very close to them. So I always say that when I was doing my outreach in the observatory, I told the children, okay, you are here. I don't want you all to be astronomers. Like, I don't want you all to be the next, Naomi Asabri-Frimpong or Kelly Blumenthal or the next astronomer who discovers the star or the next planet. But I want you to be sympathetic to astronomy. I want you to know that astronomy is important. It has a lot of benefits, not just for you knowing about what's happening in the universe, but also astronomy push frontiers. And as we look deeper and deeper into space, we develop technologies and techniques that are easily changed and used again, reused in our lives to better our lives. And so when you hear something about astronomy or space science in your community, when you become like the policymaker, you become the next prime minister, you become the next minister, and as something comes on your desk that says, oh, we need funding for astronomy, or there's a science museum that wants to build a planetarium, you will not dismiss it. You'll be like, oh, I remember I went to a planetarium and what they showed, or I went to the observatory and the astronomers were amazing and they got me thinking. And for weeks I was looking at the night sky, and you take a second and think about the proposal and see how can I make this work. Maybe not in the way they want, but in a better way, or in a more suitable way for your circumstance. So public engagement is not to make everybody astronomers. It's to make people know that astronomy is possible for them and that it's close to them more than they think. And education is more about, are the children learning the right things? So how do we make sure they're learning the right things? We need to talk to the teachers. We need to help the teachers, give them resources. And I really love what the OAE is doing, because I'm a beneficiary. I remember when I was in Ghana, we had our first teacher training, and we had 10 teachers from private schools. So you would think that private schools will have more resources than public schools. But the teachers needed so much more training, and they had such doubts about things. Like they wanted to be, because we're not sure, they didn't want to teach these topics, they will just say the barest minimum and just go away because they didn't want to be asked any question that they couldn't answer. But we took the time to explain things. They demonstrated themselves all these sizes and distances. They did the activities themselves, hands-on. And so now they had the tools to, make it fun for the children in the classroom and for them to able to explain it well and to have the confidence to do that. So we are doing the same things, but from different angles. And we are hoping to meet in the middle where everyone knows something about astronomy, whether professionally or as, somebody who just loves the topic. Yeah.
I think also, if I can add to that, we were talking about before how astronomy kind of pulls people towards science. It also pulls people toward a certain way of thinking about things and like innate curiosity that people have to wanting to, understand the world around them. And I think one of the most important things that astronomy public engagement and astronomy education can do is teach people how to critically think and how to, experience the world and not just say, yes, first blush is absolutely everything that's correct. Not reading a headline that says interstellar object is alien light sail and thinking that aliens are going to come. That was probably a verbatim.
Yes.
But not reading that and thinking like, oh my goodness, we're going to be invaded by aliens, because no, you take that and you think, okay, well, who wrote it? What are they saying? Why are they saying it? Where is the data coming from? What is the data? There's so many different questions that you can ask when you see something like that. And I think science education and specifically, really in particular, astronomy education and astronomy engagement gives people the tools that they need to know to ask and also to answer those questions. And that is so, so, so valuable. And I think, certainly there's a lot of overlap between education, formal education, and public engagement. But I think it's so freeing what you can do in informal spaces with respect to how information can be relayed and the kinds of interactions you can have with the people that are there with you. And you're not just focusing on children. You're never too old to learn about something. I know people often say that their brains are like fried and wrinkled like a raisin or something like that. But no, you're constantly able to learn new things. And that's the beauty of doing public engagement, is working with students from of all ages, from teeny tiny babies to elderly people who are coming in from wherever they're staying, wherever they're living. And it's a beautiful thing to see. And you can see the same kind of curiosity and love for learning across the entire spectrum of ages. And it's really beautiful. And to be able to engage with that and to leverage that experience, like the lived experience of people, and kind of lean into what they know and what they already have in their mind, their preconceptions that they have. I think that's a really interesting thing, and something that is unique to public engagement. So I don't know. How are we on time?
So we have a very short time. We need to play the video. But before you say something, we stop. I keep saying children, but we had adults. We had a whole company come in, and you could see the adults fighting over crayons and colors just to color their activity. So public engagement is not just for children. We actually do it for adults too. And the adults are still wowed by astronomy. And you can also be, whoever is listening, you can also be wowed, but if only you open your mind to the possibilities. So yeah, we are short on time, and we have a wonderful message from somebody special. Kelly, do you want to introduce him from Edward Gomez?
Sure. So Edward Gomez is the president of Division C of the International Astronomical Union, which is a division of the IAU that's dedicated to astronomy education, culture, engagement, and his perspective is a really interesting one, particularly on the IAU in all of its scientific branches, and his role really in kind of leading the charge toward a better, more holistic understanding of astronomy. So I will stop speaking and let him talk.
Hello, I'm Edward Gomez. I'm an astronomer and I'm very happy to be part of this special event as part of the 100 Hours of Astronomy hosted by the IAU's Office of Astronomy Outreach. The International Astronomical Union, or IAU, is an organisation which collects together professionals working in astronomy in more than 80 countries around the world. Its primary aim is to help international scientific collaboration through conferences, meetings and working groups. But that's not all that we do. I'm the president of the IAU division, which coordinates education, outreach and heritage amongst its members. We're a community who loves to share the sense of wonder you get looking at the night sky, finding out about the universe's mysteries, the history of astronomy and discoveries in astronomy, and astronomy culture, both ancient and modern. The IAU also coordinates international teams looking for and tracking asteroids and comets, as well as lobbying governments to preserve our dark skies. We also are the only organisation which can officially name constellations, stars, planets and other astrophysical phenomena. That's just a glimpse of some of the work that the IAU is involved with. Join us throughout 100 Hours of Astronomy to find out about the amazing and exciting activities that you can be involved with.
That was a message from Edward Gomez. And while we bring our session to a close, prepare for the next session, I want to let you know that in the chats, we have a list of things we are asking you. We are asking you where you are joining us from. We're asking you to tell us your astronomy jokes. We're asking you to tell us what you call the moon in your language. We're also asking you to give us some feedback about how you're enjoying the event. So these are all really, really important to us as we are public engagement office. We also prioritize evaluation because you need to always know how impactful our events are and how much we are reaching you and how you are responding to what we are putting out there. So please, please help us with that. And we have an astronomic joke that someone put on the chat. So the joke is, there's a question. How does Jupiter pull up its trousers? The answer, using the asteroid belts. That was a really funny joke. It was like so hilarious. I don't know whether you're laughing with me, but to say that Jupiter is pulling up her trousers with the asteroid belt was just so hilarious to me. Thank you, whoever shared that joke. It was so amazing. Thank you so much. We look forward to other astronomy jokes from you. So please, please help us fill out all. I know it's a lot of links, but please try and help us to get some information from you and also get some really, really good jokes. So I'll stop talking here and please hold on while we connect you to the next session. Thank you for joining me and see you soon.
Hi, hello again. My name is Takeshi Inoue, Director of Akashi Municipal Planetarium. In Japan, there is a tradition of moon viewing in autumn. This year, night for the moon viewing will be on October 6th. It is called Tsukimi, which means looking at the moon. During this season, many special Tsukimi products appear. For example, can you see? Tsukimi mochi, rice ball cake, tsukimi dang, tsukimi omusubi, and tsukimi burger, and many tsukimi burgers, delicious burgers, another. So there are many products for tsukimi. In my research, the moon is sometimes imaged as an egg, and sometimes as round rice cake. Both are delicious. So clearly, more study is required. So I'm just studying now. Sorry. Yes, I would like to show you some Japanese planetariums. Yes, the first is the Osaka Science Museum. Osaka is a city where the very first planetarium in Japan was installed. Please enjoy their traditional work and history. Next is the Cosmoplanetarium Shibuya. Shibuya is one of the Tokyo's most popular districts, especially among young people. For a long time, a planetarium has been a symbol of this area. Today, a new planetarium continues that legacy and shines brightly in this lively city. And third is the Bridge of Star Bearings. It is a wonderful project that shares the night sky with all people. The work brings planetariums into hospitals, sharing the beauty of the night sky with the children who are staying there. And finally, let us introduce the Fukuoka City Science Museum, which will host the International Planetarium Society IPS conference next year. From here, the video will be in Japanese. Please enjoy the videos.
Hello and welcome to the Osaka Science Museum. I am the director of this museum. We are located in the heart of Osaka City in Kansai region of Japan. Our mission is to foster a culture of enjoying science. Even in this digital age, we value the real and the human. Let's explore the wonders of science together.
はい、これが大阪市立電気科学館に入りました日本で最初のプラネタリウムです。1937年から1989年まで52年間の間活躍していました。その間52年間に延べ1100万人の人が星空を楽しんだ日本の有数のプラネタリウムです。このプラネタリウムは2022年には日本天文遺産にも認定されました。日本で最初のプラネタリウムということで、私たちも誇りを持って仕事をしています。
はい、こちらが私たちのプラネタリウムです。いろんな機能を使ってお客さんに解説するため、こだわりのプラネタリウムになっています。
当館のプラネタリウムは何といっても星空がとっても綺麗なんですね。実際の空で皆さんと一緒に星空を眺めているような、そんな臨場感あふれる星空を再現することができています。
さあ、時計の針の方は夜9時まで回りました。今夜夜9時ごろ、晴れているとこんな感じで、空に星が出ているはずです。今日は私がどこにあるのかなと言いますと、頭の真上のあたりに、明るい星を見つけることができると思います。この星ですね。この白くて明るい星はこと座のベガという名前の星です。こと座のベガにはもう一つ違う名前がありまして、一つの星なんですが名前が2つあるんですね。もう一つの名前は織姫星です。むしろこっちの方が有名かもしれませんね。そして、このこと座のベガ、織姫星の近くにはあと2つ白い星がありまして、3つ合わせて夏の大三角形と呼ばれる三角形を作っています。こと座のベガと、それからこちらとこちらですね。こんな感じで細長い三角形を作ってください。
大阪大学が持っていた極プロストモルトン型加速器というものです。この大阪市立科学館、大阪にある科学館なんですけれども、実はこの今大阪市立科学館がある敷地は大阪大学の理学部がもともとあった土地なんですね。でもちろん地元の大学やですね、地域と連携してこのような展示を設置したりもしています。見てください。ここでは天の川も見られちゃうんですよ。上から見るとまん丸、横からも見られちゃいます。天の川運河って意外と横から見ると薄っぺらいんですね。 リンゴの仕上げながらそれぞれの惑星の重力を感じられます。やっぱ太陽は重いですね。
Endless stars, endless wow with Osaka Science Museum!
Hello, IPS friends all over the world.
We are so happy to introduce you our Planetarium Shibuya.
Hachiko is one of the most famous dogs in the world. Many kids and their family enjoy learning about universe with Hachiko at our planetarium.
Now, let us introduce Planetarium Shibuya with Hachiko.
We hope you to enjoy our presentation, and we are really looking forward to seeing you at our planetarium someday in the future.
Diversity, culture, excite. 世界が交差する。Cool, mode, edgy. 未来が加速する。Love, energy, heartbeat. 渋谷が動き出す。渋谷を超える未来の渋谷。
癒しの星空解説員永田美恵です。得意なことは子どもたちにラジオで星や宇宙の質問に答えるというお仕事もやってますので、いろいろな人たちに宇宙天文の素晴らしさを伝えたいと思ってます。よろしくお願いします。
旅する星空解説員の佐々木優太と言います。世界一周をしてきて、現在も星空ツアーオーロラツアーの添乗員としてガイドをしているので、それを生かした解説、ロマンチックな解説をしています。
笑顔の星空案内人小久保しおりです。得意なことは、解説員以外に声優やナレーターといった声を使うお仕事をしています。その仕事を生かしつつ声を使った雰囲気のあるような解説をしています。よろしくお願いします。
彩りの星空解説員宮原です。得意なことはチラシのイベントのデザインをすることです。プラネタリウムの解説の中では自分でデザインしたポスターなども使いながら解説しています。よろしくお願いします。
星空 MC というニックネームで解説員をしています。コスモプラネタリウム渋谷解説員の田畑雄一です。実は普段は吉本興業というお笑いの事務所でお笑い芸人もやってます。その芸人の話術を生かして解説員もやってます。
私は星空を切り取る解説員村山です。はい、得意なこと、そうですね。私は切り絵を作るのが得意です。解説の中でも切り絵を使う時もあります。最近は水彩画も描いているので、プラネタリウムの中で水彩画のこんな風景を見てもらったりもします。ぜひそんな水彩画も出てくるプラネタリウムの解説をお楽しみいただければと思います。ありがとうございました。
皆さんこんにちは。星を読むなごみの解説員西香織です。解説は宇宙のことをまるで詩歌のように、ちょっと詩人のような感じで宇宙を語るのが得意かなと思っています。それから文学とか歴史とかそういうのも織り交ぜてご紹介しています。
私は伝説のプラネタリアンと呼ばれている解説員の村松治でございます。私投影解説のスタイルはですね、実況中継風に星空をご案内するというやり方をやってますので、ぜひ皆さん私の投影楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいなと思っております。なお今年ですね、大変ありがたいことに日本天文学会の天文教育普及賞というのをいただきまして、それをまたエネルギーに変えて投影頑張っておりますので、ぜひ皆さん私の投影聞いていただけたらと思います。で、私が天文人生をやる中でですね、ハイライトとなっていたのが今の賞をいただいたことと、それから30年前にシューメーカーレディ第9彗星が木星に衝突するという大変な大きな出来事をですね、運よく中野修一さんと一緒に天文計算で皆さんにお伝えすることができたというのが大変嬉しい記憶として残っております。その他にもですね、いろいろな天体観測もやっておりまして、ほうき星では、櫛田村松彗星という周期彗星、それから144個の小惑星、命名ができたものは半分ぐらいなんですけども、そういった天体観測を八ヶ岳の星空でやってきたという経歴がございます。
はい、コスモプラネタリウム渋谷の紹介でした。ぜひ皆さんコスモプラネタリウム渋谷に
来てね
Hello everyone, my name is Mariko Takahashi. I am the co-representative of Star Weaving Village and I work as a Cosmos Navigator. Today, I'd like to introduce the activities of Star Weaving Village as well as share a part of our planetarium in Japanese. 私たち星紡の村は、すべての人に星空ををミッションに、移動式プラネタリウムで年間250カ所ほど様々なところに出向いてプラネタリウムを行っています。私たちが一番重きを置いて星空を届けているのは、なかなか本物の星を見るのが難しい、重い病気や障害とともに暮らしている子どもたちやその家族です。長期入院をしている子どもたち、バギーやストレッチャーに乗って生活をしている子どもたちなど、生まれてから一度も星を見たことがない子どもたちがたくさんいます。ドームを持ってお伺いすることもありますし、病室の天井に直接映して、時には新生児集中治療室 NICU などで行うこともあります。また、直接お伺いするのではなく、機材を送ってフライングプラネタリウムという形でオンラインや動画で 自宅や病室でも行えるようにしています。コロナ禍は特にこの方法が大活躍しました。現在もニーズは多くあり、特に余命宣告されてしまった方とそのご家族向けに行うこともあります。次に私たちのプロモーション動画の一部をご覧ください。
3、2、1、0、はい、目を開けましょう。星が作ってくれました。
友達と一緒に見れるっていうことがとても嬉しくて、とても貴重な体験になりました。
地球最高。
出てきました。乙女座ですね。この乙女座、翔ちゃんがこの地球に生まれてきた2011年9月20日の夜の星空です。その日、こんなにたくさんの星が輝いて、翔ちゃんがね、ここに来てくれてありがとうって思ったそんな日ですね。最後に私たちのプラネタリウムのほんの一部をご覧いただきます。今見てきた惑星たち、みんな母なる太陽から生まれてきた地球の兄弟です。その太陽が生まれたのは今から46億年という昔、宇宙の中でとっても暗くてとっても冷たい場所で太陽は生まれました。その周りに惑星が生まれ、太陽から一番いい距離にあったこの地球にだけ命が育まれたというわけです。そんな私たちを生んだこの太陽系、宇宙の中で一体どんなところにあるのか、もっと広いところを見ていきたいと思います。私たちの太陽、ずっと遠く離れてみると、もうどれがどれだかわからなくなります。その周りの数千億という星たちとともに一つの大きな渦巻きを作っている。これが天の川銀河です。この天の川銀河の中心から私たちはだいぶ離れたとても田舎なところにいます。そしてこれを横から見るととても薄っぺらい円盤のような形。これを普段私たちは内側から見て、それをまさしく天の川と呼びます。ですから今夜皆さんの頭の上にある天の川は、私たちがどれだけ広い宇宙にいるのかと、それを何度も教えてくれてる存在です。さあ、この天の川銀河の外、宇宙はまだまだ広くて深く、原画だらけの世界です。 それらが教えてくれるとっても大切なこと。それは私たちみんなのこの体の材料は全部星が作ったということ。もし星がなかったら私たち誰もここにいません。そしてそれらのすべての始まりは宇宙の始まり。だからこの宇宙は私たちにとっての大きな大きなふるさと。みんな同じ誕生日を持って同じ場所からやってきたよと言えるのかもしれません。さあこの広い宇宙の中、私たちの地球を目指してみんなで一緒に帰りましょう。数千億という銀河の中の私たちのたった一つの天の川銀河。その天の川銀河の中に数えきれない数千億の星。その中のたった一つが私たちの太陽。その太陽の周りを回る惑星の中に一つだけ命の星、地球があります。その地球が生まれて、命が生まれて、その命のリレーは一度も途絶えることなく、私たち一人一人に全部がつながっています。さあ、私たちの地球に帰ってきました。広い宇宙の中の小さな点のような私たちの地球。そこから見上げると、どんな場所にも、そして誰の上にも必ず星が輝いています。そんな星空の下、私たち一人一人、見た目も言葉も文化も、できることできないこと、いろいろ違います。でも大きな宇宙から見たら、その違いって本当にわずか。だから私たちみんな違ってみんな一緒だよって星が教えてくれるように思います。星を見上げると、ずーっと遠くから今ここ共に生きてるっていうこと、そのかけがえのなさもまた教わります。だからまたぜひ一緒に星を見上げましょう。普段なかなか夜空を見るって難しいけれど、あの天井の向こうにいつだって星が輝いてみんなを見守ってるよということ、どうぞ心の中に、体の中に覚えててくださいね。星空が連れてくる朝、そんな明日がみんなにとって今日よりもちょっといい一日になりますように。
皆さんこんにちは。福岡市科学館です。科学館とプラネタリウムについてお話しします。まずはここ福岡がどんな場所なのかを紹介する動画からご覧ください。動画にもあるように2026年6月には IPS2026 福岡が開催されます。期間は6月21日から26日の6日間。これに合わせて開催されるフルドームフェスティバル、カンファレンスツアーを含めると10日間あり、ここ福岡市科学館だけではなく複数の会場で行われる予定です。次に福岡市科学館のご紹介をします。福岡市科学館はカフェや本屋さんが入っている六本松421という複合施設の中にあります。人が育ち未来をデザインしていく科学館を目指し、2017年10月に開館しました。博多駅から地下鉄で12分の六本松駅に隣接するとてもアクセスのいい場所にあります。では開館5周年を記念して制作した動画をご覧ください。 2025年6月には利用者数が600万人を突破し、多くの皆様に親しまれている施設となっています。そんな科学館のドームシアタープラネタリウムは直径25メートル、座席数は220席です。投影機は光学式とデジタル式を使用した統合型システムとなっています。映像番組では人気アニメーションや音楽アーティストを起用したもの、場内でアロマが香る作品など多様な投影を行っています。またオリジナル番組として空語りを制作しており、この中ではオリジナルキャラクターである空くんが登場し、設定したテーマについて解説員と掛け合いをしながら進行していきます。その他スターリーナイトジャムと銘打ち、音楽コンサートや講演会、パブリックビューイングなどさまざまな趣向を凝らしたイベントを開催しています。可動式の座席を外し寝転がって星を眺めたり、七夕やお月見といった季節の行事について深掘りしたりすることもあります。他にも開館以来福岡に住むクリエイターの方々と共同で制作しているイベントコズミックダンスがあります。 DJ が流す音楽や映像に合わせながら架空の惑星を旅する内容で、ご参加の皆様には大変ご好評いただいています。これからも利用者の皆様に星を見上げる楽しさを伝え、宇宙がより身近なものとなるよう多面的多角的なアプローチを続けていきたいと考えています。プラネタリウムが誕生して100年という節目を迎え、次の100年へとつないでいく、そんな素敵なタイミングに IPS をここ福岡で開催することができることをとても光栄に思っています。世界各地のプラネタリアンの皆様、そしてプラネタリウムを愛する皆様と2026年6月、この福岡でお会いできることをとても楽しみにしています。ぜひ福岡にお越しください。お待ちしています。
Thank you for visiting. Yes, yes. I'm just now looking forward to you in IPS 2026, and we are looking forward to you. Yes, and I'm just now research is continued. My research is making progress, so. They are all delicious. And my stomach is becoming full moon. Okay. Yes. Finally, we would like to share the video from the Akashi Municipal Planetarium. It features a local hero named Shigo Senja, who faces Dr. Blackstar in quiz battles. Recently, a giant robot has also joined the story. Please enjoy the videos. どうぞ。Yes, yes, yes, this one. Oh, nothing. Sound? Sorry? Sound? Yes. Okay, again. Yeah. Yeah.
海峡時の街、伊吹地方だしごせん広めるために行け行け行け四五千じゃ四五千じゃ星の光を身にまとい悪と戦え四五千じゃ輝け僕らの正義のヒーロー星の話を聞いてほしい平和を作る四五千じゃ子供の未来を守り抜けプラネタリウムで解き明かされた星のロマンを広めるために行け行け行け四五千じゃ四五千じゃプラネタリウムに映し出される
行くぞ四五千じゃ
星の話を広めるために行け行け行け四五千じゃ四五千じゃ
くっそー四五千じゃめ覚えておれ今度こそ四五千ジャーをやっつける方法を解き明かし解き明かし解き明かしウーサブ ブラック星博士じゃ。I am Dr. Black Star. Do you have a good time space? My research, the burger is very delicious. Moon, moon, delicious moon. Yeah, it's okay. So we have the next video and just now download. So sorry. Yeah. 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 Naomi-san here. And about Kelly-san, Hiramatsu-san. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Hiramatsu-san. Yeah, come here. Yeah. Yeah. We are friends. Yeah. Can you connect the time about your joke? No?
No.
Astronomy joke?
No.
No.
No joke.
No joke. Oh. We are not alone. Yeah. Yeah. Is it okay? Almost. Yes. We are very popular in the Japanese astronomical educational community. If you come to Japan and visit Akashi, you can meet us. So you will be the fantastic experience. Yes. Okay. Let's go.
そして綺麗な星空を守るために戦う私は守護センジャーレッド。そして私は青い地球を守るため、良い子の皆さんを守るために戦う守護センジャーはブルー。
めちゃくちゃにしてやる。わしがブラックって言ったら星博士って言ってくれ。いいな。間違っても星室って言うなよ。いくぞ、ブラック。いやというわけで、ここからわしと守護センジャーの戦いが始まるというわけじゃ。今日の戦いはどんな感じ？
そうだな、やはり私たちの得意技はクイズアタック。クイズでブラック星博士をやっつけてやるぞ。じゃあみんな、守護センジャークイズアタックのポーズはいけるかな？守護センジャーで指を空高く上に上げて、クイズで胸元に引いてきて、アタックでもう一個空を指します。じゃあブルー、いくぞ。守護センジャークイズアタック。問題。月食になることがある月の形はどっち？ 1 番新月、2番満月。さあブラック星博士、どっちかわかるかな？
わからんよ。よし、良い子のみんなに聞いてみよう。1番の新月だと思うお友達拍手。2番の満月だと思うお友達拍手。わからんの。1番の方がちょっと多かったかな。わしは月が消えるし1番だと思う。答えは1番。どうじゃ。
残念だったな。正解はこちら。2番満月が正解なんだ。
そうなの？ 勉強になるな。展開が早い。よし、じゃあわしからの攻撃を受けてみろ。ブラッククイズアタック。皆既月食の月はどっち？1番こっち、2番こっち。さあどっちかな。
これは全員揃うんじゃないかな。ということでみんなに聞いてみてくれ。そうだな。良い子のみんな、会場の皆さん、1番と思う方握手。ありがとうございます。2番だと思う方握手。
一番。
せーの、1番。
そうなの？
やったー。2番はこれ明石焼きだよね。
では
とどめを刺してやろうじゃないか。
いよいよ最後の問題じゃ。
じゃあ皆さん声を揃えていきますよ。ブルーいくぞ。おう、四国選者問題。月食の時、月から地球を見ると1番満月のように輝いて見える。2番日食になっている。さあどっち？
これは難しい問題じゃな。1番だと思うお友達拍手。2番だと思うお友達拍手。わからんの。さっきは答えが満月だったし、今度も満月かな。わしの答えは1番。どうだろう。
じゃあこれはあいつに確かめてきてもらおう。四五性能だ、頼むぞ。
ここに入って
月食の時のスピードを生かすぞ。太陽が地球の向こう側に隠れている。これはまさに日食の状態だな。ということで正解は2番でした。というわけでやられたのだ。参ったのだ。
光に照らされて浮かぶ勇士は四五千じゃ。頼むぞ僕らの正義のヒーロー。明石海峡時の町響く時報だ四五千じゃ。日本の標準時間を守り抜け。プラネタリウムに映し出される星の話を広めるために行け行け行け四五千じゃ。四五千じゃ。
というわけで、さようなら。グッバイ。イエーイ。See you again.
Okay, so now Dr. Bratska is leaving now, so let's start the next session. So next session, I will introduce about our OAO's host institute, National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. So could you please start the video for introducing the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan? Yeah, so
a little bit about energy.
Yeah, so the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan operates several observatories and telescopes around the world and several places in the world. And also we operate supercomputers, and also we have a collaboration with JAXA, Japan Space Exploration Agency, to develop or operate space probes and space telescopes. So we are proud to operate, we are proud to cover this very wide range of astronomy in one institute. So I'm originally radio astronomer. So yeah, then let's start.
何が見える？何が聞こえる？あの空の向こうから。あの空の向こうから。
遥かな時と膨大な距離を超え届く宇宙からのメッセージ。あらゆる場所にあらゆる方向から絶え間なく人知れず届く宇宙からのメッセージ。求める答えはきっとそこにある。今日も私たちは宇宙からのメッセージを受け止める。宇宙にあまねく存在するという謎の物質ダークマター。姿は全く見えず重さだけが存在するという。ここはハワイ島マウナケア。国立天文台が誇るスバル望遠鏡がその謎に挑んでいる。スバルに搭載されたカメラハイパーシュプリームカムで撮られた数えきれないほどの銀河。ぼんやりとした光の一つ一つがおびただしい数の星の集団だ。ダークマターの持つ重力はこれら銀河の姿を目にはわからないほどわずかに歪めている。研究者たちはコンピューターを駆使しその歪みを探し出した。見えた。ダークマターの広がりだ。視野満月の9倍、画素数8億7000万画素。ハイパーシュプリームカムの高い性能がダークマターの分布を見事に暴き出した。
誰も知らなかった宇宙の暗黒の部分を今初めて人類が目にした。
日々太陽は輝き、月は形を変え、星たちは巡る。あの向こうには何があるのか。どんな力が働き、どんな法則で動いているのか。そして宇宙はいつ生まれ、どう成長してきたのか。南米チリ、標高5000メートルの天空の砂漠地帯に忽然と姿を現す66台のアンテナ、アルマ望遠鏡。ここでは日本をはじめ実に22の国と地域が共同して宇宙からの電波を調べている。MAX1149JD1、 アルマが捉えた132億8000万光年彼方の銀河。アルマはこの銀河の中に酸素を発見した。 宇宙はビッグバンで生まれた。何もなかった宇宙に星が生まれ、銀河が生まれ、やがて酸素も生まれてくる。それはいつか、かつてマックス 1149JD1 が発した光は宇宙のあらゆる方向へと広がっていった。ビッグバン以来、宇宙は膨張を続け、その膨張に伴って光の波長も伸びていく。そしてついには132億8000万年の時を経て、銀河の光は電波となって地球に届く。その電波をアルマは捉えた。132億8000万年前、酸素はビッグバンからわずか5億年後にすでに存在していたのだ。遠くを見れば見るほどその過去が見えてくる宇宙。宇宙はどう進化してきたのか。アルマ望遠鏡は今日もまた遥かな宇宙からの電波を追いかけている。壮大かつ深遠、謎に満ちた宇宙。国立天文台は装置の開発から観測に至るまで世界中の研究者と宇宙の謎に挑んでいる。さまざまな観測装置が受け取る宇宙からのかすかなメッセージ。それは宇宙の謎を解く大切な手がかりを与えてくれる。そしてまた一つ、TMT、 世界5カ国共同で建設中の超大型望遠鏡だ。最大の特徴は144センチの鏡492枚を並べた直径30メートルの巨大な目。光を集める能力はなんとスバルの10倍を超える。 TMT はこれまでの望遠鏡が踏み込むことのできなかった領域にまでさらにもう一歩を踏み出すことができるのだ。中でも人類が長年抱いてきた疑問、
生命が存在するのは
この広い宇宙で地球だけ？
宇宙に生命存在の手がかりを探す。 TMT はかつては SF だったようなことにも果敢に挑み答えを出そうとしている。
見える、
聞こえる、宇宙からのメッセージ。
人も探査機も行けない宇宙の奥深く、これからさらに待ち受けているに違いない未知との出会い。宇宙を知りたい、謎を解き明かしたい。国立天文台は今日も宇宙からのメッセージを受け止めている。
Yeah, thank you for watching the movie to introduce the NLJ. And I also prepared some presentations to explain more about NLJ. So the NLJ is National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. We have a very long history. The former institute before the NLJ is a Tokyo Astronomical Observatory of the University of Tokyo. And that observatory was established in 1881. So we have more than 140 years of history. And now we are located in Tokyo as a headquarters, and we have several observatories. And one flagship telescope is the Subaru telescope located in Hawaii, as shown in the video. So the one strength of the Subaru telescope is the wide field of view. So with a special camera called Hyper Prime Cam, and it covers very wide range of the sky. So we can have a photograph of very large number of galaxies at one time. So in the right-hand side, you see the yellowish dots, but all of these dots are galaxies. So by measuring these, by measuring the shapes of these countless galaxies, then astronomers can derive the distribution of dark matter. So astronomers are now making a map of dark matter, unseen dark matter from these galaxy images. And NLJ has a very large program to observe these galaxies with the Subaru telescope for devoting many hours of nighttime. So research is still ongoing. And the next one is AOMA. Is a radio telescope, but international collaboration between East Asia, Europe, and North America, and also the Chile, where telescope is located. And by detecting faint radio signals with AOMA, researchers can see the formation site of planets around the young stars. So in the night sky, there are so many young stars and so many planets will be forming around those young stars. And by detecting radio waves from tiny dust particles around the young stars, then we see where planets are forming and how planets are forming. So that's a very interesting research topic. And after AOMA started operation, this field is advancing in very rapidly. So we can enjoy the high resolution, high fidelity, high quality images of this planet forming site. And future plan is a TMT or 30-meter telescope in Hawaii. So we have collaboration with 4 countries, including Japan, and we are preparing the construction for this telescope, big telescope for next generation. And other than that, we have radio telescope, we have supercomputer, we have solar satellite, solar observing satellite, and also we have gravitational wave telescope in Japan in collaboration with the University of Tokyo and High Energy Accelerator Research Institute. And also together with JAXA, we have some collaboration with Hayabusa and Hayabusa 2, the asteroid explorer. And also, as shown in the video, we inside the NLJ, we have a kind of factory or the NLJ Advanced Technology Center to develop special instruments for high precision, high sensitivity astronomy observations from ultraviolet, optical wavelengths, near infrared, and radio waves. So we cover very wide range of astronomy within NLJ. And also together with researchers, we have a very wide range of public outreach and education activities as we shown in the video, say 2 hours ago, we have a 4D2U project, a 4-dimensional digital universe project. So this project is visualizing the astronomical data produced by the supercomputer to visually impactful, beautiful 3D images. And also we can go along the time domain. So we have 4 dimensions. And inside the NLJ headquarters, we have a dome theater, like a planetarium. So we often open this dome theater to the public. And also we have a stargazing party, we have an open campus, and daily open campus, and we have a very special, once a year, special open campus event in headquarters and other observatories, branches of NLJ around Japan. So we have a very rich activities both in astronomy research and also for the public outreach. And we are proudly hosting the International Astronomical Union's Office for Astronomy Outreach, or OAO, that hosting this international events. So we will, in the NLJ website and OAO website or other social networks, we continuously uploading latest information of research results and also the outreach activities. So we are very looking forward to collaborate with you in the future. Okay, then it's time to go to the next speakers. Let's see. So yeah, Mr. Riyad Benisip, are you available now? Can you turn on the video and mic?
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, please go
Hello,
ahead.
everyone.
Hello, yeah, we can hear you.
إذا أنا رياض بن نصيب، أستاذ تأطير علمي بالقبة الفلكية بمدينة العلوم بتونس، وأود أن أقدم وأرحب بجميع الحاضرين هنا. إذا سوف أقدم البرزنتيشن بتاعي.
Hi, we are seeing your email.
Yeah.
The translation is really good. So, yeah, we see your presentation now. Thank you.
Thank you. إذن أنا رياض بن نصيب، أستاذ تأطير علمي بالقبة الفلكية لمدينة العلوم بتونس. يساعدني اليوم أن أكون في الأوفيس for Astronomy Outreach and International Planetarium Society في برنامج 100 ساعة في علم الفلك و100 سنة قباب فلكية. أنا الآن في القبة الفلكية لمدينة العلوم بتونس، والتي وهي منشأة عمومية تحت إشراف وزارة التعليم العالي والبحث العلمي. أود في البداية أن أقدم جدول المحاضرة. أولاً سوف أقدم مدينة العلوم بصفة عامة، ثم القبة الفلكية، فالأنشطة للقبة الفلكية، ثم الإنتاج والعرض في القبة الفلكية، ثم البحث والشراكة. إذن نبدأ في تقديم مدينة العلوم بتونس. نشأت مدينة العلوم بتونس في سنة 92، وهي مؤسسة تهتم بنشر الثقافة العلمية بكامل تراب الجمهورية وبين مختلف فئات المجتمع، وخاصة في صفوف الناشئة. تقع مدينة العلوم بتونس في شارع محمد البوعزيزي في اتجاه مطار تونس قرطاج الدولي. وتمتد هذه المدينة على مساحة 6 هكتارات، وقد بنيت حول بقايا حوض يعرف باسم حوض أبو فهر الذي بناه عبد الله المستنصر الحفصي في القرن ال13 الميلادي، وهو ثاني حكام الأسرة الحفصية، لرأي مدينة تونس من أحد فروع القنوات الرومانية القديمة، الحدائق التونسية الأندلسية. هذا من ناحية الموقع. لمدينة العلوم بتونس فضاءات علمية ومهمتها تبسيط العلوم، منها فضاء الكون والقوة الفلكية، فضاء الحياة والإنسان، فضاء الحمض النووي للجميع، فضاء الاستكشافات، فضاء المعارض المؤقتة والمتنقلة، والمكتبة الإعلامية. ثم أريد أن أقول أن لنا فرع في مدينة العلوم في تطاوين، يعني في جنوب تونس، من أهم ما نجم نقوله في مدينة العلوم وأنها للجميع من الشمال إلى الجنوب. دعوني أقدم لكم القبة الفلكية. القبة الفلكية وقع افتتاحها الرسمي في 21 مارس 1996. فيها الباهو الاستقبال، ثم قاعة العرض والتي يبلغ قطرها 14 متر، ويمكن أن تستوعب 115 جزائر. هذه القاعة هي في اتجاه واحد وغير مائلة. هذا فريق القبة الفلكية، من الأستاذ عبد الله الهمامي، رياض بن صيب، الأنسة اسمهان بوغنيب، السيد أنيس يحيوي، السيد نوفل بن معاوية، السيدة سارة سنوسي، والسيدة روضة السالمي. الجمهور هو تنج من صغار سن من 10 سنوات تقريبا إلى 22 سنة. الجمهور يبلغ تقريبا ما بين 30 أو 35 ألف زائر سنويا. أنشطة القبة الفلكية تعتمد القبة الفلكية على برنامج تقريبا 50 دقيقة فيه جزئين. الجزء الأول وهو حصة في القبة، يعني شاو، وهذا البرنامج متاعها تقريبا يوميا عن الحصص هذه. ثم في العروض هذه نقدموا العروض المعروفة في علم الفلك العالمية، من الأرض إلى الكون، وهي ترجمة لفيزو، ثم أستيرويد إلى غير ذلك. ثم لنا في الجزء الثاني من الحصص متاعنا هو وصف لسماء تونس. فنقدم وصف لسماء تونس من حيث المفاهيم الأساسية، مثل الكويكبات، الفرق بين النجوم والكواكب، مجرة الدرب التبانة إلى غير ذلك، أو النجم القطبي، الدب الأكبر إلى غير ذلك. يعني تبسيط العلوم الفلكية في وسط القبة الفلكية، وهذا مهام القبة الفلكية بصفة خاصة. ثم البرامج والأنشطة اللي تقوم بها القبة الفلكية هي برامج دولية، منها اليوم العالمي أو الأسبوع العالمي للفضاء ما بين 4 و10 أكتوبر من كل سنة. ثم اليوم العالمي للقباب الفلكية، هذا International Planetarium Day. ثم اليوم الكويكبات 30 جوان. ثم لدينا برنامج أو أنشطة، منها ليلة النجوم، وهي اختتام السنة الدراسية والجامعية، وهي تستقطب أكثر من 4000 زائر تقريبا. هذه البرامج كلها سنوية. ثم هذه النوع من البرامج مثل قلت الانترناشونال بلانيتاريوم داي، يوم الكويكبات في 30 جوان، وهذا برنامج تكوين للأساتذة في درس اسمه ناز، Network Astronomy for Science and Education، وهو تابع للUAE. ثم لنا لقاءات دولية، مثل تقينا في البلانيتاريوم، في البلانيتاريوم رانكونتر بلانيتاريوم. ثم لنا مع الفورم تاع سكاي اكسبلورر ثم لنا هذا على اليمين هنا مقال في موجود في بلانيتاريوم ريفيو في سنة 2017 قدموا فيه القبة الفلكية بتاعنا. ثم العمل المهم بالنسبة للقبة الفلكية هو الإنتاج والعرض. قلت القبة الفلكية هي 14 متر وفيها مقاعد 115 مع 50 سماعة ووسائط متعددة. يعني نقدموا العروض نتاعنا باللغة العربية، اللغة الإنجليزية، الإسبانية والفرنسية. هذه قاعة العرض بصفة عامة، وقاعة تستعمل البروجيكتور F32. نظام الإسقاط وهو نظام كنا نستعمل في نظام SN88 اللي هو Optical System حتى لسنة 2011. ثم من 2013 إلى يومنا هذا نستعمل في الديجيتال سيستم مع سكاي اكسبلورر 4. لنا قاعة إنتاج كذلك، يعني نعمل بهذه القاعة الترجمة والسكريبتينج إلى غير ذلك. نظام الإنتاج فيه نظام متكون من عارض فائق ومولد صور، يعني image generators وزوج شاشات يعني يلعبوا دور القبة السماوية. من مهمة القبة الفلكية هو إعداد البرامج والسكريبتينج. هذا العمل الجاري تويك في تركيب العروض. عندنا برامج مع الأمريكي والتعاون بين تونس والولايات المتحدة في برنامج اسمه مارس 1001. ثم البرنامج الروسي كذلك يونيفرسانس من فرنسا، والبرنامج الإسباني. يعني فما تعاون مع عديد من الدول. هذايا أول عرض قامنا بترجمته من الأرض إلى الكون، وطبيعة موجود الترجمة بتاع مدينة العلوم في السيت الإيزو. يعني نجم نشوفوها العرض هذايا، نجم نشوفوا الترجمة هذايا.
Riyadh,
هذايا
please
الأعمال
wrap
اللي
up.
قاموا بها. ثم عندنا الإرادة وأن باش نتعامل مع الشركاء في البحث والشراكة. هذه بعض الأدوات اللي نستعملوا فيها، منها خاصة سكاي اكسبلورر اللي هو يمكننا من وضع العروض في القبة متاعنا. عندنا فكرة على النماذج اللغوية الكبيرة والقباب الفلكية في البروب انجينيرينج. نحاولوا باش نستعملوا البروب انجينيرينج في مراحل الإنتاج والمواضيع وكتابة السيناريوهات، الستوري بورد، الفيزيوال انتجريشن، وهذا في شكل بحث. كذلك أهم حاجة حبيت نقولها اليوم وإحنا في المحاضرة هذه هي مقترحات للشراكة. نود أن نعمل مع جميع القباب الفلكية العالمية، عربية أو أجنبية، لتبادل الخبرات والتجارب. فمواضيع مثلا أسئلة اختبارية، ولا مواضيع الأنشطة العلمية والفلكية، ولا غرفة الهروب. ثم نريد أن نعمل في تنظيم
Riyadh,
الفعاليات.
we should wrap it up. We should continue. We should continue with the next guest.
Yeah, I finished. I just
Okay, yes.
تنظيم الفعاليات الخاصة، خاصة قاعدين نعملوا في عمل حول الكسوف 2027 اللي يهم تونس. ثم نريد أن نعمل في تطوير العروض مثل تاريخ العلوم العربية مثلا أو الفلكية العربية. ثم برمجة أنشطة حول القباب الفلكية مثل بث مباشر في المؤتمرات إلى غير ذلك. القبة الفلكية مفتوحة لجميع الاقتراحات للمشاركة. شكرا على اهتمامكم وإلى اللقاء.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your explanation of your wonderful planetarium and the programs. It's always happy to see many young people gathering around the planetarium. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father.
Okay, then next. Yeah, thank you very much. Next is Joseph Mafka. Can you turn on your mic and camera? Okay. Can you turn on the mic? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's already okay.
Yeah, please.
Yeah. Now, let's give me time to show my camera. Merci de confirmer si vous êtes en train de voir ma caméra. Ok. Ma caméra. Et voici. Ok. Bonjour à tous, mesdames et messieurs, distingués invités, à vos titres et qualités respectifs. Merci encore une fois de plus pour m'avoir accordé ces moments où je vais échanger, parler des différentes actions que nous menons à travers nos astroclubs du Congo central et aussi en général les différentes actions que nous menons en RDC, en République démocratique du Congo. Donc, pour faire simple, je réponds au nom de Joseph Mafuka. Je suis activiste social passionné par les technologies spatiales et les sciences. Je vais vous parler de ce que nous faisons à travers nos clubs d'astronomie et en RDC. Donc, comme je disais aussi, ma présentation sera scindée en 3 phases. Je parlerai de la Semaine de la science et des technologies, qui est un événement majeur en République démocratique du Congo. Comme vous l'aurez remarqué, la Semaine de la science et des technologies, c'est un événement majeur qui est initié par Investing in People, INASBEL, et qui a pour objectif de développer une culture scientifique tout en créant un environnement où la science et la technologie sont en vie comme des outils pour le développement et l'innovation, mais aussi c'est de promouvoir le savoir-faire et africain, parce que s'il faut signaler que ces activités sont menées en République démocratique du Congo, qui est un pays dans l'Afrique, dans le continent africain. Et l'objectif aussi, c'est de susciter des vocations scientifiques. À travers la Semaine de la science, nous organisons plusieurs activités qui facilitent à ce que le jeune puisse être intéressé dans les sciences. Voilà. En termes de statistiques, vous allez remarquer que cette année, ça a été la 12e édition. Déjà, les activités sont organisées chaque année au mois d'avril et plus de 77 000 personnes visiteurs qui ont atteint et plus de 450 élèves animateurs. Donc, dans la Semaine de la science, nous formons les élèves animateurs qui exposent autour des villages scientifiques et aussi plus de 36 formateurs qui sont formés par le savoir-faire. Et s'il faut revenir à travers le club d'astronomie, parce qu'il faudrait signaler que c'est grâce à la Semaine de la science où nous avons réussi un don de télescope Breitzer. Nous avons réussi le télescope qui est un outil phare lorsque nous descendons dans les écoles, lors de nos vulgarisations, lors des différentes descentes. Vous allez remarquer qu'il y a certains élèves qui sont toujours intéressés à voir le télescope et savoir un peu plus. Et pour nous, c'est une porte d'entrée vers ces savoirs, vers l'astronomie, ou encore pour faciliter à ce que nos élèves puissent être intéressés dans ces domaines. Et autre chose, s'il faudrait encore ajouter, vous remarquez que nous participons aussi à des activités de science citizenship à l'international, entre autres la recherche d'astéroïdes à travers le ISEC, International Astronomical Search Collaborations, ou encore en collaboration avec le PAX ILAP. Nous participons à des différentes activités de science citizenship et qui nous a donné l'avantage à croiser des personnes, des personnalités publiques ou des personnalités dans le domaine du spatial. Entre autres, je pense à Dr Nour Skarf, qui est astrophysicienne, ou encore M. Maram Kairé, astronome amateur sénégalais, aujourd'hui directeur de l'Agence spatiale et d'études spatiales du Sénégal. Donc, et grâce à des astroclubs, nous arrivons à atteindre, à contribuer à l'atteinte des ODD, des objectifs de développement durable, entre autres l'ODD 4, qui est l'éducation des qualités, ou encore l'égalité de genre avec l'ODD 5. Nous arrivons aussi à ODD 10 et ainsi de suite. Donc, ici, vous voyez les différentes actions que nous menons à travers les ODD, à travers les astroclubs, notre club d'astronomie. Et pour finir, c'est peut-être vous parler aussi d'un projet en cours que nous comptons réaliser, toujours dans le but de la vulgarisation scientifique et aussi d'astronomie. C'est le projet Congo Astronomie. Le projet Congo Astronomie qui consiste à parler de l'astronomie durant tout ce mois d'octobre. Donc, nous avons plusieurs activités en cours qui est prévues, entre autres le NASA Space App Challenge, qui sera organisé aussi dans certaines villes de la province. Dans certaines villes de notre pays, nous avons prévu le télescope itinérant, une forme de Space Bis où nous allons nous déplacer avec le télescope dans certains coins, régions de notre pays, et aussi avec des activités de outreach dans certaines écoles, et pour finir avec des conférences où nous allons mettre en avant les autorités politico-administratives et académiques. L'objectif, c'est de mettre tout dans le commun. Parce que vous allez remarquer que en RDC ne fait pas partie des acteurs majeurs dans l'astronomie, alors que nous possédons un ciel dégagé. Il y a la facilité de faire des observations et ce sera pour nous l'occasion de promouvoir ces actions que nous continuons à mener. Voilà un peu en quelques lignes ce que je pourrais dire sur l'astronomie et les enjeux de l'astronomie dans notre pays. Merci beaucoup. Back to you.
Yeah, thank you very much for introducing your wonderful activities. And so far we in this section we have we had an introduction by the from Democratic Republic of Congo and Tunisia. Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Okay, now I'd like to pass the microphone to Inoue-san. Right. Yeah. Inoue-san, are you ready?
Yes, okay. Yes. Hello again. I'm Takeshi Inoue, director of Akashi Municipal Planetarium. Just now, in Japan, the time is 7:42. And UTC 10:42 a.m. and in Hawaii 12:42 a.m. So midnight. So what time is it you in your country? Yes. I am director and I am also planetarian for the 20 years. I have helped 100,000 people fall asleep in the planetarium. The Akashi Municipal Planetarium hosts special event where visitors can relax and even fall asleep under the stars. Today, this idea has spread across Japan, and many planetariums now offer similar experience. Tonight, we invite you to enjoy and experience a sleeping planetarium here with us. Tonight, we bring you the starry sky of Mauna Kea in Hawaii, illuminated by the moonlight. Okay, so can I share the? Oh yes, just now you can see the Mauna Kea's starry sky. Yeah, it's very beautiful. Yeah, you can find the Orion and Keck or another observatories. Yes. Yeah, it's very fantastic. Have you ever fallen asleep under the stars in the planetarium? It's nice to relax and fall asleep under the stars. Why do we get sleepy when we look at the stars? Why the night sky is so beautiful? Why do stars shine? Why is the universe full of mysteries? Astronomers have searched for answers for a long time. They discovered that the universe had a beginning and a long history. Stars are born. From stars came our solar system, the Earth, life, and finally Earth. Stars and people, we are both pieces of the universe. When you look at the stars and think they are beautiful, it is like the stars and universe and you looking at itself and saying, how beautiful you are. When you wonder why, as you get the night sky, that question may be the greatest mystery of all. The answer is in your dreams. Have a good time and space. おやすみなさい。Good night.
Thank you, Inoue-san. I feel very sleepy. I hope you enjoyed the Hawaiian very nice nice night sky and beautiful stars provided by the Asahi Subaru Starry camera located just mounted on the side of the Subaru telescope dome structure. And actually, this live feed, it can be seen in YouTube every day. So if you want to fall asleep, you can search on YouTube this video. Yep, thank you very much, Inoue-san. Okay, so now almost close to the end of this section. But
We are changing.
Okay.
Change. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So every 4 hours we change the YouTube channel, YouTube link. So from 8 p.m. in Japan. So in 12 minutes, we change to the next link for the YouTube. So can you put the link to the chat? Yes, please. So we, of course, we have a 20-hour live, but now it's 6 hours. 8 hours is almost finishing, but still we have long night in Japan after this section. So if you have some time, yeah, please enjoy the following program. Still, we have so many guests, so many video programs. You can enjoy it. So we are looking forward to seeing you again in next YouTube link.
Hello, everyone. Oh, I'm hearing voices. They're usually in my head. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, and good night. My name is Cynthia Duran, and for those who are just joining us, oh wait, we are in the next YouTube. Oh, so are we live on in which one are we?